Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Squared here on the ABN Studios YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Young, here alone tonight in the booth as we bring you the LazyBee Farms 200 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And you can see a little bit of brown around the track. It's not your monitor going a little bit cuckoo. It is going to be a dirt race here tonight, the only one on the calendar, and is going to be a bit of a wild card for some of the drivers in the field tonight. So we get ready here, 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to go here in the session before we get ready to go on to qualifying as we show the tracker on the screen now playing on. Make sure all audio is good here. Obviously, first time producing again this season, so also first time working with ATVO. So if there's any issues, please kind of take a little bit of malice for that, take it with a pinch of salt, because I am kind of manning a single ship here. But that will not stop the action in the cars on the track as we get on ready to bring the action. So drivers right now are in race control meeting right now, so they will be not one on the track here. We can see a few cars electing to get on the track, as we do see a few going down there. Not 100% who that one car is. We'll go through some shots here, pit lane, and you can see right there is Connor Morris. But why don't we focus on last week's race winner? And if you don't want any spoilers, please turn away now and watch last week's broadcast. John Hagan, in the number one, had a dominating performance at Homestead. And he is one of now two drivers that have punched their tickets into the A Squared playoffs, but bearing that, they take part in enough races this season, as he will be on the quest to make it to championships back-to-back, which only Seth Wansing can take a claim for. So as you can see him kind of stationary at pit lane. Again, nothing really on track to note as drivers are just getting ready. But you can see as the 17 there of Feemster is having a little bit of fun here tonight with his sponsor, Dawn Dish Soap, as it's playing into the fact that it is a very dirty track. And speaking as well, the 23 with our title sponsor, 22 I should say, of Baxter, Ross Baxter, as you can see him right there in the nice LazyBee Farms paint scheme here, who is gracious to sponsor tonight's festivities. So right now at the moment, doing a quick head count of who's in the field. We got 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 43 cars here. And since 40 spots are guaranteed, actually 43, believe, because it's 40 open and then 40 locked in and 3 knots. So we should theoretically, and I can be corrected if I am wrong here, I'll have to do a quick open car check. But theoretically, I believe we should be good to go with no bumping in the field, as 40 cars are guaranteed open spots due to being locked in on charter, and then the last 3 are open. So we should be okay with no bumping, but if anyone else were to join, bump rules would come into play. Just doing some quick renaissance here, just doing some quick checks in as we still wait for the session to continue on here. So just open. Yep, 40 cars there, and yeah, then 3. So just seeing who exactly is the open cars joining us today. Obviously, one car is in sub-in role tonight. Brandon Bowie is subbing in for the 31 of Zach Millett, who is not here tonight. He seems to be the only sub in the field. Everyone else at the moment is either open or driving for their respective teams. So while we got this time here, 5 minutes ago, let's go over some of the things to look out for here tonight and what is exactly going to go on. Obviously, this is a race of survival. Some will use this as an opportunity, as A Squared has a big pedigree of drivers that are specialized in dirt, or their other series come from a dirt background, and this is something that can play into their wheelhouse. Others, this is kind of a foreign substance to them, and they will have to use this as an opportunity to kind of practice out and learn the rules of the road and just try to survive and not take a major points penalty, as we now see the 51 of Briley Wright. He will be on the racing surface here, and he'll be the first car to come back on with about 5 minutes to go here. But I assume the track's going to be very crowded over this next 5 minutes, as drivers will take this opportunity to get used to the track again and get it customized. As with dirt racing, unlike circuit racing where sometimes marbles will build up in certain parts of the track and the lines will defer, kind of comes down to the pockets of dirt that you'll see as the cars go around here. There's certain pockets that will come out of play. You'll see as we actually will ride on board here a nice little gyro camera of Briley Wright as he will drive through the track here. And you can see just trying to find the lines, trying to find the gravel patches, and trying to find the best opportunity to get around here to really get a good run. So, yep, there's Briley Wright there. Just going through some new graphics we have, and he'll instantly throw it back in pit lane. So not much more we can do with Briley at this situation. Checking in the audio right now. It seems like audio's a little quiet, so we'll turn some things up here just to make sure everything is good at the moment. Obviously, with the track being very quiet, it's kind of hard to get a good judge of speed and situations, but I will turn myself up a little bit here just in case anyone is struggling to hear me. Make sure the mic is close to the face and all that, just to make sure no audio levels are getting de-trounced here. So again, if there's any problems, obviously, again, first time producing in well over 6 months, so if any issues audio-wise, please let me know in the chat, and we will get them fixed up as quick as we can, as we want to bring on the best broadcast that we can. There we go. So we'll turn this up a couple clicks here just to make it my mic a little more powerful. Check the audio here again. So 3 minutes and 18 to go here. Yeah, 3 minutes, 6 seconds. Again, still no one on track. I feel like this would be an opportunity for drivers to go. Obviously, right there, the number 61 car is the fastest on the timing board, as he is currently fastest with Daniel Michel and Ryan Pennell being the next two on the circuit here. 25, speaking of right there. Well, currently not load back in the session. And the 12, Ryan Pennell, there he is. One last time, Ryan Pennell. Honestly, feel like this is, if we asked him personally, I think this is probably one of his better chances to find a victory this season will be these high banks. As this was, I believe, his last podium came at Bristol, I think a season or 2 seasons ago, came a podium here in A squared in that number 12 at Bristol. So likelihood of him finding success here is on the high side. I think this is a track definitely Ryan Pennell has circled to bring a good running. So normally this would be the point where if I had a co-commentary, we'd throw it to someone else, but we really have nothing else to cover. The track is empty. It's the calm before the storm here. We've gone over pretty much all the news we can as it's so early in the season. Gone over last week's race, so we're just pretty much waiting it out here, make sure everything is good production-wise, and we will get ready to start the show. And qualifying will start in 1 minute and 38 seconds here, as you can see the clock ticking down. Obviously, if you are new to A squared procedures, it's going to be 2 laps. We'll have 2 attempts to put down a lap here, and they will decide their position. Obviously, 40 cars are locked into the field as being chartered drivers, and that will leave 3 open spots for open cars to make the rest of the field. So 1 minute now officially to go here. Again, keep an eye. We'll go through the rest of the drivers here in the practice session at the moment. Kevin Feemster, 4th fastest, and we saw him already in his Dawn Racing powered machine. Then it's going to be Ross Baxter in the 22 with the title sponsor of the race. He'll be currently 5th in the topping the charts. Brandon Featherplace there. You can see him in the Ghost Energy machine. He's 6th fastest. Michael Lawrence, 7th fastest in the session. Seth Wanzing, 8th in his basically Jeff Gordon-inspired paint scheme. 9th will be John Hagan, and 10th will be Chris Fleming, who is also one of the drivers that has a lock-in by winning the 500s, so he will not be as much of a risky situation. Presumably just going to go out there, get a good finish, get some decent points, and presumably not rack up any incident points that could end up hurting you as the season progresses on. So practice officially going to conclude here, Josh Gaiman is going to be fastest on top of the charts in practice, but we'll see if he can keep that pace going on to qualifying. Alrighty, as we now officially get ready, as you see the session turn over, we are getting on board for qualifying. Drivers will have 10 minutes to put down 2 times, and we'll see how they circle out here. Cars already beginning to spawn on the racing surface, and we will follow the driver that was fastest in practice, Josh Gaiman, as he will take his 2 laps here. Laps will go by very quick, as that is the nature of the beast here, as we do have to quickly switch over the ad sponsor. So we will do that right now as well, as just the top is the proud sponsor of A Square Qualifying, as Gaiman will cross the line now and will start his 1 of 2 flying laps. Right now, at the very least, we have many drivers out there. I got at least a count on my board, about 15 drivers at the very least taking laps here. So this timing board will light up like a Christmas tree. And he will cross the line first lap in the books. Josh Gaiman will go provisionally P1. Braille will be second. Cody Pinnell will be third at the moment as other drivers now file in. We'll see what lap number 2 can be just as good. And you can see him fighting that wheel. Car going left, car going right. Gaiman will come across the line. Will he improve? He will improve. So he'll take his 17.67, move it to a 17.64, and he will be top of the charts. We'll now pivot to another driver here. Let's go to trying to find a name. Josh Battles in his Doritos machine. See him here. We'll let him do his 2 laps here as he will go on the board here. Obviously, Black Ass Racing, 3rd round draft pick in that number 11 machine. And see now he will finish up lap number 2, I believe he's what's going to do. His other drivers now finished up the board as well. As he comes across the line on the first lap, going to go P7. He will fly. And he will have his 2nd lap here to try to get a little bit further towards the front. Some other names making lunges include Matt Verdran, is currently 2nd fastest on the board. Battles finished up will stay P7. Verdran coming across the line is number 00 for the Wizard. Can't even tell 100% what that is. He'll come across, spin it across the line, will not be able to go any faster. He will stay P2. Let's now cut on board here with Nicholas Pressey in that number 94 machine. Obviously missed the field last week at Homestead. The dangers of being an open car playing on board there, as now he will start his first of 2 flying laps, and we'll go on with a nice little gyro camera of the number 94 here. As you'll see the line he is playing on board here. And actually, we'll actually go cockpit instead, so it's a good indicator to see how he's fighting that wheel and just show you what he's doing on these laps. First lap in the books. Going to be good enough only for 27th, so he's going to have to find a lot more time here, and already gets a little bit of a kick there. That's going to cost him some speed here. Going to have to use the 2nd lap. Back end very loose here. Just trying to find what he can. He'll have to lift out. Almost hits the itinerary wall. Comes across the line. And it'll be only still good enough for 29th, not the lap that number 94 car would want. Let's see who else is on the board here. Looks like James Kerr is about to finish up. But we'll actually focus on Matthew Kent as he's on lap 1 of 2. James Kerr just finished his lap now. So let Matthew Kent, the lawman, put down some laps in the number Bucky's 15 machine. Coming across the line to finish lap number 2. Across the line, he will put it. Currently P27 on the first lap, will not find improvement. He will stay P27 just behind John Smeal. Next up, we'll go to Edward Marshall in his number 16 Wendy's powered machine here, as he is now starting his 2 flying laps here. Has to beat a time set by Josh Gaiman. A 17.64 is the time he will have to beat if he wants to put that number 16 on provisional pole. First lap about to be in the books here. Actually, it is. Well, coming out of the finish, I should assume here. He's going to have to put himself up the field right now. Currently, his lowest car is Steve Tucker in the 24. Currently set an 18.94, but definitely not indicative of his actual pace. Coming across the line now, P23 for the number 16 machine, as he will slot it nicely there, as he will finish up his 2 laps. First lap was invalidated. Seeing who else is on here, pretty much everyone else has pretty much finished their laps. Looks like Briley Wright is about to leave the pit lane with about 5 minutes to go. So we'll follow him now next. So do have some other drivers taking practice laps, taking opportunity to do some laps. Looking at the board right here, we got Connor Nolan and Galloway in the 05, both taking extra laps here to get some extra practice, just to get their sea legs, I should say, under them, or dirt legs, if we're going to be a little bit more indicative, to get a feel for this track here. So as Bradley Wright comes off the board here, coming on 3 and 4, first lap will be in the books for the open driver. Coming across the line, will only go 32nd fastest. I had Nicholas Pressey at the moment, but behind David Wright. Second lap is going to have to be a bigger lap for him here. Comes across the line now to finish his second lap. And it will not be an improvement. Only 18.24 to an 18.23 on his first lap, and he will stay. P32 will now cut the Ross. Baxter was the 5th fastest in the field during practice, so he has a good run here to try to make a pole run here in that number 22 LazyBee Farms machine. One of the handful of Toyotas here in the field. I was running a little bit of a different camera angle here, as you can see, running the eye in the sky camera, as he will finish his first lap here in the books. And it's going to be good enough to go P18. So he's going to have to put the hammer down here a little bit more if he wants to get that second lap to go. Almost kicks the wall there, trying to find as much time as he can on throttle exit. Coming out of, again, second lap in the books. And he will not find improvement, so P18 will be the fastest for the 22. And then that will cut us to the Bahama man, Eldridge George. He is also yet to do a lap here, so unlike what we usually see week in and week in qualifying, where we see groups and groups going, per se, where cars just kind of go out like at the first start of the session, and maybe around 7 minutes he hits the wall hard there, and that is going to be an invalidation, at least on the second run here, as he already finished his first lap. So this will not be, I think, a completed lap time for either lap here. We'll just wait for him to cross the line here. Yep, no, obviously validated that lap, and I believe he invalidated his first lap too, so he will not put down a time, and he will have to start from the back. So other than that, really, the track is pretty much empty at the moment. No one is doing any practice laps here with 3 minutes to go here. Take a look at, while we have this opportunity, we will take a look at the top 5 here, as we'll hide the graphic there. Gaiman, Veron, Hagen, Brault, and Pinnell going to be your quickest 5 right now here in quali, as they will make the roll here. At the moment, trying to get a head count here of who, because it looks like we have more than 43, so while we got this opportunity here, going to do a head count here just to see who exactly is going to be the drivers right now, because we have more than 43. Brian Johnson right now is one of the open cars. He's yet to set a time, so he would be one of the cars that would theoretically go home. We have 46, so 3 drivers would be on their way out the door at the moment. And speaking of Brian Johnson, he will now head out onto the track. So number 72 on the track at the moment. Obviously, looking in the chat, we have someone as always comes out and supports Brian, and he will be on the track again here to try to take that 72 into the field here. So I think at the moment, I think he's got to pass Marshall Harris is one of the open cars. As he completes first lap in the books here, we'll do that math in a second. We'll go P37. I think at the moment he's close to clear or almost clear. I think he's ahead of 2 open cars, but needs to beat 1 more. His next close, I think, is going to be Pressey or Hudspeth. Actually, it has to be both of them. I should be mistaken. Second look in the books, and he will go P34. So he bumps Pressey down, as we do see a few more cars come. We'll cut the Bren Roberts here as I do some quick math. Jarrett Merchant, they're both open cars, so they will have their seats at the table guaranteed. So Marshall Harris is one of the 3 open cars, I presume, going home. Nicholas Pressey at the moment is not looking poised to make it, if my numbers are correct. And I think the 3rd car is going to be Brian Johnson. as Briley Wright's obviously an open car, but he's ahead, and obviously we have 46. So I believe, again, we'll check obviously when we get to the main session, is Bren Roberts just puts down a banker lap there just to make sure he doesn't start in the last position. So I believe as we have 6 seconds to go, obviously no one's going to touch the man Josh Gaiman. He will be our provisional pole sitter heading into the race. But I believe the 3 cars going home, and we'll check this when we get to the next session. It's going to be Marshall Harris, Nicholas Pressey, and Brian Johnson, if I am correct. But session now officially complete. Gaiman fastest with Ferran, Hagan, Braille, and Pinnell going to be your top 5. So as we move on here, we'll go back, get the switch sponsor switched over, and we are going to get ready for 5 minutes of warm-up here as drivers will get ready to take this opportunity just to get a climb to the track. You can see it's getting a bit dark. As you can see, we'll see if we can get a good shot of the sky. Obviously, rain is not on the way, but maybe if we can get a good, yeah, you can see a little bit of cloud and those wide shots there. Actually, we'll see if we can take the HUD off here for a second just to show you. You can see it's kind of sun setting, orange sky, but there is some pockets of darkness here as they go on moving onward here. So, obviously a little bit ominous, you could say, but other than that, though, it is pretty much, other than that, pretty harmless out there at the moment. So we'll see as it's pretty much a big smorgasbord here as drivers go around the track here, fighting for position. So as cars fight on the track, get us situated here. Going to monkey with some more things here. Just give me, because I'm hearing the audio right now. It's a little low. So as you see right there, a few cars hit the wall. Going to take this opportunity real fast to adjust my audio. It's big lick as Morris gets into Hagan, and it is a track blocker here. So cars will move onward here. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. So we're going to turn this up a little. This should theoretically make me a little louder. And in turn, make my commentary, easier to hear. As it still sounds a little faint. Obviously, again, please let me know in the chat if everything is sounding all right. But just want to make sure nothing is overpowering or, at the very least, negated right now at the moment. Okay, so we'll check the audio here in a second. 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go here. We do got to re-put on one quick thing here. There we go. LazyBee Farms, thank you for bringing us the action here. So let's set the table here. Well, we got that 2 minutes to go here. We'll reset the table here and get adjusted as we see cars going around the track here. I was focusing on Connor Morris here. Jeremy Braille right now, fastest in the session of this warm-up. Looking at the moment, 3 cars at the very least that look like they've not made the show. Obviously, I think Brian Johnson is one of them, Nicholas Pressey being the other. And I believe I was correct in my assumption. Marshall Harris, Nicholas Pressey, and Brian Johnson will be the 3 going home, as obviously just checking real fast. Neither of them are currently in the session anymore, as the rest at the moment have made the show, if I'm correct in my assumptions. Obviously, we'll see as we just see on these nice wide shots here, as you can just see at this track and how just you're fighting for real estate most of the time regardless. Obviously, there are 2 stage cautions that will bunch up this field. However, at points where we get long runs, cars are going to just be kind of just out there, just fighting, battling, jostling. And more importantly, one thing though as well, there are no fast repairs for these drivers. So if they get in a major accident or get heavy damage like we see the 51 right there, Briley Wright, as he entered his pit box there, there is a risk of not being able to make it back and in turn will have to retire or being limping around. So drivers will have to be wary, make sure they keep their cars clean, and like kind of the keys to the race, it's going to be about survival, and it is going to be about making, as you can see right there, big damage for LaJoy, and that's not what you want to do out there if you can help it, as it looks like he got a piece of Edward Marshall. There's Feemster also to the inside wall. But there's the 00 of Matt, and then trying to get around here. You're a Wizard Harry on the side, on the main hood there. Nice Harry Potter presence. We have two schemes inspired by, oh, big track blocker there. Bunch of different sponsors. We have Castlevania sponsoring Jonathan Adams, Harry Potter in some capacity on the 00 machine. Obviously, our resident Italian, Icavazzi, should be running a Soprano scheme, and he is not this week. So, is running a love scheme, so not in the same themery as the cars around. So as we get ready to go to the main show here, 9 seconds to go in warm-up. Drivers will finish their laps here. They'll go on to the main action. So this is, again, just to quickly reiterate, this is going to be the LazyBee's Farm 200 as we get ready and move on to tonight's main festivities. So welcome into the main race as the session begins to change. It's the LazyBee Farms 200, presented by 7 Bar Barbecue for the A² Cup Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 200 laps await these drivers here tonight. Stage is at 60 and 100. This will be an opportunity for some drivers maybe to punch their ticket into the playoffs. So we'll take a quick look here. As I opened the wrong thing. We'll take a look at the starting grid and go over where everyone is. Josh Gaiman and Matthew Verdon will be in the front row, and they will lock out row number 1. Row number 2 is going to be, as it's not moving for me, let's do another click here. Oh, wrong one. That's my mistake. There we go. John Hagan and Jeremy Braille will be in row number 2, former teammates. They will opportunize row 2. Row 3, Cody Pinnell and Colin McDonough will be in row 3. Row 4, Joshua Battles and Ryan Pinnell. Row number 5 will be Seth Wanzing and Daniel Michelle. Row number 6 will be Connor Nolan and Elliot Longenecker. Row number 7, Kevin Feemster and Brandon Featherplace. Row number 8, Chris Flemings and Jonathan Adams. Row 9, Lloyd Pelletier Sharp and Ross Baxter. Row 10, Galloway and Connor Morse. Row 11, Brandon Bowie filling in for Zach Millett and Vincenzo Icavazzi. Row 12, Davey Hawk and Edward Marshall. Row 13, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Patrick Oberstadt. Row number 14, Tommy Withers and Dale Markowski. Row 15, John Spiel and Matthew Kent. Row 16, Toby Estes and David Wright. Row 17, Briley Wright and Brian Johnson actually did make the show, so my apologies. Row 18, Nicholas Pressey, and actually I think we're getting to the cars actually, yeah, Nicholas Pressey and Hudspeth. Row 19, LaJoy and Wood. Actually, sorry, Nicholas Pressey, Harrison Johnson didn't make it. It just kind of glitched out here. So LaJoy, Wood, Rupert Murchino, Harris Kerr, and Tucker Roberts will be next row, and then Merchant and Elfridge George will round out this field here tonight. So obviously, looks like it kind of glitched out just a tiny bit there, as we'll actually need to hide that and put this on the show. So it looks like the 3 drivers didn't make the show. Nicholas Presley, Marshall Harris, and Brian Johnson. So I was correct in my assumptions. Looks like they just kind of got in the ticker there anyway. We'll take a quick look at the race analysis while we got it here. Length, obviously 200 laps, 1 mile track, 35 mile an hour pit rate speed, 67 laps is the pit window, and it looks like the banking of the corners 9, 8, and 8. And while we have this second here, we'll get the 1 to go this time by. We should take a look at the weather. Obviously, track temp not really going to play as much of a factor here. Strong wind, though, could play a little bit of a factor for these drivers here tonight. So it is going to be showtime here. Obviously, first restart will be on green. After that, it will be on the control of the leader. Josh Gaiman won the last Bristol Dirt Race back in 2023, looking to go back-to-back at the principle of dirt here in, well, NASCAR iRacing. So as the pace truck pulls on off, green flag is out, and away we go for 200 laps of the LazyBee Farm 200. So as lap 1 is now officially in the books, Josh Gaiman is going to lead where he started. He will lead lap number 1 with Matt in second, Braille, Pinnell, and Hagan rounding out the top 5 here. Cars fight for position, keeping an eye on the ticker here. Seeing we got some battles, obviously top 3 at the moment, playing factor. Another quick last lap for Josh Gaiman. We're going to cut a little bit further back here. Got a bit of a blink there from the 34 Feather Place. So we're just trying to find some battles here to kind of cover up here. Ooh, wrong angle. There we go. Feemster working his way up the road here. Chris Fleming also trying to follow suit here inside of Elliott Longenecker in the Windy Chevrolet. So they'll be side by side coming across the start, finished late. Looks like the 31 will get the job done. See if we can find some kind of high angles here just to get good views of the track, because obviously it's going to be so congested here early as cars are going to fight for position and traction that it's kind of just a situation of just trying to find where everyone is and see what everyone's doing and seeing where the battles may be playing. So there's obviously Seth Wansing at the moment. He's doing good, but we got a side-by-side battle between the 2 of Connor Knowlton, the 39 of Connor McDonough, as he is currently fallen 3 spots back on the restart, and he'll need to find his footing here. Not the biggest loser at the moment, though. Currently the biggest loser is the driver of the number 12, Ryan Pinnell. He has lost 6 spots on the opening restart. So as we watch this battle rage on here, just to cut back up to the lead for a second while we got the moment. There's Josh Gaiman currently leading the way, currently about half a second ahead of the 00. But you can see Jeremy Braille knocking on the door here in third. Obviously, if we take our minds back to last season when we went to Bristol Concrete, I guess you could say, or Bristol Asphalt per se, he was in a situation where he was doing good. He had this was kind of a put-up-a-shut race to make it to the next round of the playoffs, and sadly it rolled snake eyes for him. But obviously looking for a bit of redemption here on a non-full-time entry. A little bit further back, John Hagan now side-by-side with a 28 of Cody Pinnell. Almost hits the 28 there. He'll have to save it, come up the racing surface, and that's going to open the door for the cars behind us. Seth Wansing and Josh Battles. They were not fighting. They'll have a chance to operate here. Wansing will get in the wall there. Little scrape, not a lot of damage, but it's going to allow that 11 of Josh Battles to pass on by here and make a move. So side-by-side, Wansing and Battles currently are still, but looks like Battles will get the bright edge here. Obviously using a new interface here for intervals. So again, we're trying to find the battles here as quick as we can. We'll go a little bit further back here. Got a little bit of a pack here, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd. This is way outside the top 20, but it is very fighty here, I should say, as Adams, Galloway, Morse, and Nikavazzi all under a bit of a blanket here. And there's Connor Morse trying to go inside in that nationwide machine as he gets the job done on the 05 of Galloway. Is going to go up a little bit too much up the road. That's going to leave him vulnerable for an attack. Some cars already having trouble here. Looks like Brandon Featherplace. Obviously looks like he's having some slight connection issues. Alfred George is also struggling, and the 88 of Wood is also having some issues here as well. So they will be currently out of the hunt here for the moment. And it looks like they'll have to kind of move on the next week as it plays on. Ooh, Morris goes up the road a little bit there. That's going to open the door for the 5 of Galloway to maybe swing over under. There's Toby Estes. Haven't seen him in a few, well, this here last week, I should say, as he's making a move in that number 23. I mean, we have a caution here. Looks like it's for Brian Rupert. So let me see if I can pull him up here. There he is. Oh, looks like the 11 is well involved. So multiple cars involved in this incident. There's the 11. There's the 6. Jonathan Adams in the 8 machine. He was involved. The 22 of Ross Baxter. John Smeal. So we'll take a look here as obviously you see the cars, and you can see heavy damage for the 22. So obviously something may have happened here. Car drifting up at the point of caution. So we'll pull the replay up here. Right now we're focusing as obviously right now the 61 of Gaiman. It looks like he was catching lap traffic here. So we'll have to play it out here. Let's see if we'll get a nice chopper camera, and we will play it at a 4th speed here just to see what exactly may have happened here. So, oh, the 83 gets in the wall a little bit, but that's not going to play a major factor here. Gaiman goes in here, just trying to get around lap traffic. I'm still focusing on the 6 here for the moment. Oh, he drifts up right into the 83. That sends him sideways, right into Bren Roberts. That shoots him around, back up the road, and now we'll play at full speed here. He hits the wall hard, and at that point, just a track blocker, and nowhere for Brian Rupert to go. At that point, it was 6, 7 cars involved. John Hagan gets a piece along with a handful of the other fields. Steve Tucker actually hooks around the 25 there. So we'll take another look here. We'll focus on Josh Battles this time, and we'll go on board with the driver, the 11 here. So we'll pull up, just make sure I got everything right here. There we go. That's not the right info. When you need to find it. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Driver dead. There we go. We'll just play it this one because it shows the name anyway. So we'll play it out here. Focus on Brian Rupert. Josh Battles here. Was in 5th at the time of the point of the incident. You're going to see right there, there's the 6, and he's just kind of in the tracks, on the brakes. Just a little bit less you can do, and it becomes just a bit of a track blocker as he just kind of plows in to a handful of the car there at number 6. So we'll take another look as well. We'll focus on John Hagan, if I can find him in this instance. He was obviously last week's race winner. We'll go with another nice shot camera here, and we'll turn off that. And we'll pull up the 1 here real fast. We'll take one more look. Obviously, it's a little bit further back. Obviously, the incident already happens. And you're going to see right here as they just go on board. Kent just gets kind of pushed by the 24 into the pack and nowhere else to go. So we're going to go back to live as we hear on radio comms. Looks like they're about to go green here next time by. Cars were taking some service among others as we should get the 1 to go. Presumably this time by as they delayed it 1 extra lap. So obviously Gaiman and Matt in the 00 will be row 1. Braille Pinnell will be row 2. Battles Hagan row 3. Wansing, Knowlton row 4. McDonough and Feemster will be the first 5. Obviously a handful of cars right now as we'll pull up the pit lane thing here as we'll get 1 extra lap. You can see right there, there are 3 cars currently on pit lane. The 6 of Brian Rupert, the 24 of Steve Tucker, last week's podium finisher, and the 42 of Wood was already been on pit lane. So only 2 cars at the moment with heavy damage time that presumably is going to take him out of tonight's festivities. Just make sure, I just want to check one thing. Yep, that is the right box I was looking for earlier. So control will be on Gaiman as he will get the green here. We'll get the green with 20 laps completed in this race. Again, stage, I believe I'll confirm it again here, but it should be, yep, lap 60 will be the end of stage here. So 40 laps to go in stage 1. Gaiman looking poised, does not want to get involved in other people's issues if he can. Green flag is out, and away we go again. Gaiman, good launch there as the 00 follow in second. It looks like the 11 did not get going on the restart, and he is going to be under pressure here as the pack begins to kind of get out and get situated. So we'll focus on the 11 here. John Hagan, obviously both of them were involved in the incident. Obviously you can see, as we'll see a good shot there, you can see the damage on John Hagan's front. I'm sorry, the 11 of Brian Rupert's front end, but not affecting the speed or performance at the moment. Is obviously with these short tracks and these dirt racing, as long as you didn't take a lot of speed out of it, you'll be okay enough if you can obviously rip the lines, as performance and horsepower isn't the be-all, end-all. So we have another yellow here. Looks like we have it for someone. I'm trying to see who exactly it is, as no one's popped up on my battle box here. Oh, looks like it's the 77 of Vincenzo Icavazzi. We'll see anyone else. Obviously, could be just maybe a spin in front of the pack. And we'll go around here. Kent, a little bit of damage from the previous incident. There's Dale Markowski. He may have had an incident in this. So we'll take a look here. Obviously, it looks like it was Icavazzi that may have started this, but obviously starting it and being the reason are 2 different things. So we'll take a look here, watching the replay here. Play it out here at full speed. Cavazzi in that number 77 Loves machine. Oh, he gets right into 60, gets sent around 2 cars, and get on the front edge there. So really, overall, minor incident in comparison to the first one, but that is still a 2-car incident that will cause a caution here. So obviously we saw it from the perspective of Icavazzi. Let's take a look again. We'll pull it back here, as we'll do one more time, and we'll focus on the 60 this time, the 60 of Patrick Oberstadt. And we'll look at another angle here. We'll go from a different spot if we can. We'll watch again here, and we'll play it out. Obviously, they get one more car in this incident, so just riding up on the high side. Back and just kicks similar to what we saw with Brian Rupert, and they collect the 32 as well in that incident. So 32 also gets some minor damage there for regards. We'll take one more look as well, pull it back, and we'll actually ride on board with the 32. So we'll pull up the 32 here of Riley Murchio, yeah. As we will ride on board, we'll get a nice little hood camera here of the 32, and we'll watch it one more time. Obviously side by side at the moment. Keep an eye on the right of your screen. 60 gets a little loose into the 77, and at that point, really nowhere for Riley to go. He sends them both around. Again, very minor damage. and he will continue on his merry way. Obviously, all 3 cars will is not heavy damage for either of them. So we'll head back to live action. Obviously, that's Dale Markowski. So we'll go back to our race leader, Josh Gaiman. And we'll hide that information. So 24 laps complete. Obviously, we had a good 20-lap green flag run. Obviously, just maybe a little bit of the antsies there, as we have a 4-lap run here before we get another incident. Obviously, sometimes that's the nature of dirt racing. Sometimes you get them all linked back up again, and sometimes they kind of get a little bit loose, and you can see the effect that may cause. So lights are out on the pace truck. Control will be on that number 61 machine. Braille will try to bring an answer to that 61, as he will be on the outside here. So Gaiman for Dirty Air Motorsports, Kevin Feemster team. Braille, obviously, for an open team. They'll be riding off here in row 1, and Braille did not get going. Look at that inside line. 3 cars will clear. The Matt, the 00, and John Hagan will. Braille finally gets it going there. See if we can take a look here maybe in a second to see if he missed a shift, was in the wrong gear. But obviously we got some action to cover here first. This looks like Battles and Feemster also almost got into each other there as well, as that just stacked up that high line, and you can see the repercussions that have out on the racing surface. Chris Fleming also way on the low side there, and he's going to go around here. Collects Toby Estes, but we will actually have a caution, so looks like that will be point of caution here, just to confirm it. It looks like that is going to be our incident. Just making sure as I'm trying to scroll through the old information box here. Yeah, it looks like it was that incident we saw with Fleming. So we'll take one more look real fast just to see what exactly happened to Fleming. As we saw him from one of the perspective cameras go a little slow. So we'll play it out as he went low here. So, he gets a piece of Adams there, trying to just kind of fighting hard. Then he comes up the road right into 39, and then that point just goes sideways, clips Estes. And again, kind of a dangerous spot. A lot of cars coming in. So that will be a valid reason for a caution, and that will be our 3rd caution of the night. But while we got this opportunity, I do want to take a quick look back again, if I can quickly get to it, on the restart there with Jeremy Braille. So we're going to go to Braille here, and we're going to go into his good old cockpit camera here, and we're going to pull up the driver data. This is one of these new little information screens here, if this would theoretically work. So we're going to play it out here. Actually, I don't know if it's going to actually show up. We'll see here. So coming off to the restart here, trying to find the gear, and yep, that data, for instance, is for live action, not back damage. So we're going to actually just rewind back here for a second. Again, trial and error sometimes with these things. So we're going to hide the driver data now, and we're just going to watch the little on-screen thing there. Watch his situation here. Obviously, in Gear 3, yeah, I think he was not in the right gear, because if we go one more time back here and just go to Josh Gaiman, you can see he's in Gear 2, which is the restart gear. Verdon was actually in Gear 1. Hagan was in 2. Braille was in 3. So Braille was just in the wrong gear there, maybe trying to stop wheel spin and try to get the car correctly planted. But the effect of being in that high of a gear, not as good of a launch, and in turn you can see the stack that had on the high side there and caused 2 spots lost for that number 74 machine. So back to live action. There's obviously Chris Fleming. So we'll cut back up to the race lead again. 30 laps completed. This takes the opportunity to show off some of the new things we have as well, including the top 5 screen here. You see right now it's Gaiman, Verdon, Knowlton, Hagan, Braille, your top 5. So lights are now out on the pace truck. Gaiman, a strong force here tonight. Will have control again here. Has led off every restart so far and is looking to keep this dominant trend going. Green flag is out, and away we go again. Better restart there from Braille. Obviously, 00 got a good launch as well. No real calamity there as they head off into 1. Connor Knowlton looking to try to be the big winner here. Going to try to got around Hagan. Now going to be on the low side of the 00. So they're going to be side by side heading off into 3 and 4, but Can he get that run off? He still can. He will clear. So put the 2 up to position 2 as he will be in second position. And then it's a 3-wide battle behind there. See if we can get a nice wide shot of it. That should at the very least work for now. As Braille 00 and we have a quick caution here. Going to see who exactly it's for. Not seeing a name of note here. So it looks like it's Adams and Wanzing. So we'll cut to the 5 car here. A little bit of scratches on it, but it looks okay. Jonathan Adams, he's a little bit slower, so both of them will get going here. But as you can see, that front end is crinkled on that number 8 machine. So we'll take a look here. Obviously, there's the number 8 here. So we'll watch on board. We'll follow the 8 here. Let's go with a high in the sky camera here. It's usually indicative. Seth Wanzing's obviously ahead here, so I'm going to actually guess we'll go to the 5 instead, because he looks like he'll be maybe the point of caution here. Wanzing goes up the road. He gets a little loose. He gets on the Feemster and then right into Adams. 2-car incident. Luckily, no one else piles in almost. Luckily, the rest of the field got around there. And that will be next point of caution. So this time we'll take a look again here. Focus on the 17 here. So watch him in this incident, and then we'll focus on Jonathan Adams. Yeah, just Wanzing goes up the road a little bit. 17 to Feemster tries to go for the over-under. They get a little touchy there, and that just shoots them both into each other there. Feemster gets off maybe the best out of the 3 there, but that right front looking a little crinkled. And then lastly, we'll take a look on board here with number 8 of Jonathan Adams. So we'll pull up, that's the wrong none. We want the NP basic, and then we will play it out here. Obviously, Adams at this point was just outside the top 10. Yeah, just an innocent bystander. Gets collected, nowhere to go, and gets sent around into the inside wall. Even though he was an innocent bystander, he ends up getting the worst of it as he takes a good lick into the inside wall. And you can see him now on pit lane trying to fix up his car here. A few other cars will come down pit lane as well. So 37 laps completed. Looks like Jeremy Brown is going to come in, or actually at the moment was down low here. He will elect not to, so he will stay on out. Obviously, most field not going to like to come in. Obviously, these dirt rules, and among other things, can play a bit of a factor here. As we should now get officially the 1 to go this time by. Connor Nolan will be the next person up to challenge Gaiman, as it seems like we've had a cavalcade of different cars on different restarts firing off on the outside of Josh Gaiman, and so far no one has been able to be the lucky recipient to have a chance to pass that 61. Braille, Matt will be in row 2, Hagen, Pinnell, row 3, Cody Pinnell and Josh Battles, row 4, Edward Marshall and Brandon Bowie will round out the first 5. Obviously, lap 60 will be end of stage number 1 as we are racing to that point. Pace truck will pull on off. Control will be on that 61. Green flag is out, and away we go. Good launch there by the 61 again. He will clear, heading off into 1. Knowlton will be under a little pressure, but he's making that high side work here. So shoot up the road, though, and now we'll be side-by-side with Jeremy Braille here. So we got a battle for second and a battle for fourth just behind. And we have another quick caution here. Caution's usually pretty cautious. This one looks a little bit more on the bad side. As the 47 at Cheeseburger Lawrence is around. Looks like Daniel Michelle also had a piece as well in the 25, a little bit slow on the road. It looks like, at the very least, it was a little bit bigger. Alfred George and James Kerr may have gotten involved in this one too, and looks like it may have started off with Davey Hawk. So we'll take a look here, and obviously, right there is obviously Patrick Oberstadt, Davey Hawk on the outside in that 21. So we'll play it live here, see what exactly happened. Focusing on that 21 on our screens, the white and green machine. Oh, LaJoy got in the corner panel, sent Fleming around. Oh, big lick for Longenecker. He gets some heavy damage there, as he gets a big pile in on the engine block there. So we'll take another look. We'll actually this time focus on Chris Fleming. Yep, in the 38 machine. So we'll take back, as you can see him struggling to get going there, Davey Hawk. So we'll go with this. We'll go to the 38 machine. Focus on Fleming this time by. We'll get another angle of note, and we'll watch it again. As I think he's going to be the reason why more cars got piled in here. Obviously, Lawrence a little bit further back and just minding his own business. That gets hooked right in front of the racing surface. Yeah, clips feather place, gets into the 30-47 Cheeseburger Lawrence. Michelle nowhere to go. And you got to see James Kerr and Alfred George pile on in as well. We're going to take one more look at this. We're going to watch the guy that got the biggest lick, Elliot Longenecker, as we'll go on a nice little hood camera of Elliot Longenecker here, as he is currently was a little bit further in the back at the point of this incident. So we'll play it live. You can see right there again. LaJoy just gets in the hawk. That shoots down, and at this point, Longenecker just trying to mind business and just nowhere to go. Just big lick on the inside line, and then just has to keep on trucking and hope the damage is not severe enough to take him out of the running. You see right now, there's obviously Daniel Michel currently on pit lane. Take actually a look here. That's actually the wrong camera angle. We'll go back up to the race lead here in a second, as now he will now leave. But we will take a look at pit road right now. And you can see a handful of cars on pit lane, obviously the 75, the 25, the 21, the 9, all involved in that caution, all on pit lane. The 8 of Jonathan Adams off a previous incident will also be joining the festivity. So right now we have 29 cars on the lead lap here. I know, a little bit of a weird segue, but 29 cars currently at the moment racing on the lead lap here, as we got another one to go. So very hard to update everything when we get such quick restarts here with it being such a short track. But 29 cars on the lead lap. Hudspeth, first car, one down, along with Markowski, Lawrence, Michelle, and Kerr. They'll all be fighting for the lucky dog. Pace truck going to pull on off. Control will be on Josh Gaiman again. Green flag is out, and away we go here on lap 42, now 43. Top 2 get some space and separation, but position 3 fighting hard. Hagan, Matt, and the number 1 of John Hagan. Ryan Pinnell also there trying to crash the party. Pinnell having a good run here. See if we actually can ride on board here of Ryan Pinnell. Currently sitting, obviously, position indicator not the correct one, but early in the moment having a good run. You can just see the effects on the road here. Oh, he gets in the wall a little bit there. It's about trying to find lanes, pick your lanes off, and try to get everything opened up here. He's just trying to find the lane that makes him most comfortable. So we'll go back up. Speaking of the battle there, you see Connor Knowlton's falling into the clutches. He's lost a little bit of touch. Jeremy Braille got around while you're watching that. 0-0 gets a little loose. Hagan sideswipes him there a little bit. Obviously unintentional, just with the case of dirt, you're just trying to fight the car sometimes, and you end up maybe colliding with someone indirectly. So that 0-0 fall down to 6, so ends up going from 3rd to 6th in just the span of 2 corners. It just shows you how tight the competition around A Squared is. One mistake, and you could end up further back than you would like to be. So obviously there's, we'll cut back to our race leader, Josh Gaiman, as he has now opened up a 1.7 second gap. We'll see if we, I think we do have something here that will show us that. Last 4 laps. Nope, that's not. Actually, that would work for Braille, so hold on. Use our shiny new graphics. Nope, looks like it's not working at the moment, so we'll have to just kind of let it ride here. As you can see, Alfred George. Oh, spin around Matthew Kent. Looks like he will be the point of caution here in that number 15. Alfred George also involved as well. There's Matthew Kent slow on the high side. So that will be point of caution. We'll take a look here and see what exactly happened with Matthew Kent. As usually, you're not sideways on this track very often in these regards. So follow support here with Matthew Kent, that number 15 Bucky's machine. Oh, 83 got a little loose, and Matthew Kent tried to gear it up, got into him. He's on the low side here, but yep, Alfred George on that low groove, just running that low groove. They pile in, and that will be point of caution. So luckily, minor incident in the shape of things, but that will put Matthew Kent, who's already having a bit of a struggle day, that will put him 1 more down. So now he'll be 2 down, and in turn won't be able to get the lucky dog as being in the point of caution. So back up front, Josh Gaiman, again, just keeping his performance going strong here as he will continue onward. So what we got the second here, I do want to take a look here and see some of the shiny graphics we have here. So last 4 laps obviously shows interval in question. Laps led obviously will show Josh Gaiman is at 50 of 51 As you can see, Danny Michelle get his lap back as he's the lucky dog. And then up to speed will show us, obviously, the intervals in question. There's Josh Gaiman, obviously our leader, and then Jeremy Braille, 0.23 behind. Obviously, pit road, a bit of a crowded place here, as that's the pit road time, my mistake. That's the board in question. You can see, obviously, a lot of cars down there. Kevin Feemster electing to come in for service. He, along with Michelle Murciano, Tommy Withers, John Smeal, Markowski, Kent, Kerr, Hudspeth. Pretty much a lot of the field here, all down pit lane. Maybe trying a bit of an undercut here, maybe to fix up their cars, as obviously stage is close to completing here. So it can be a situation and an opportunity to try to get track position, throw away stage points, and try to in turn get a good stage 2 starting spot. It's obviously right there, highs and lows. Obviously, Josh Gaiman, nothing he can really change. Started first, currently first, highest position he's been first, lowest position he's been is first. So it has been a great race so far for that number 61 machine. So officially 1 to go on the pace truck now. Gaiman, Braille will line up row 1. Nolan Hagen, row 2. Pinnell, Ryan Pinnell, and Matt in row 3. Bowie and Cody Pinnell, row 4. Battles and Wanzing will be the first 5 rows here. Obviously, lap 53 coming to 54. If we get another quick caution, it could be the end of stage. And it looks like we're delayed as Wood in the 88 machine, a little bit slow here. And it looks like we'll delay 1 extra lap. Just a quick check here. Said he crashed. Let's just see if he crashed or if he was just letting cars go. Yeah, it looks like he was just letting cars go here, letting everyone get cycled up through the field. So we'll get 1 extra lap delayed here, allow the field to get all caught back up, and we will continue on our merry way. 29 cars still on the lead lap. Only 1 car out of this race, Brian Rupert. As everyone else everyone else is continuing up to Jonathan Adams, Davey Hawk, and Matthew Kent. Heavy repair damage time, unlikely to keep going, as they look like they will also be joining the DNF Grayard, but at the very least, still trying to hopefully get out there and get some points. So Gaiman on control here. Pace car will pull on off. Green is out, and away we go for a 6-lap mad dash for stage number 1. Nolan Braille fighting for second here. Ryan Pinnell trying to get up the top 3 here. He gets around John Hagen. Ooh, a little bit of a checkup there by the 61 a game. It could open the door here for Nolan. Should be worth knowing, in the top 5, we have 2 open cars and 1 fill-in driver. Bowie, Pinnell, and Braille, 3, 4, and 5 right now. Would be looking for good owners points, but not individually. And obviously, if Pinnell and Braille run the full season is open, they would technically also be going for playoff points and make playoffs. But at the very least, though, making good run for the cars obviously that are in the open section. All right there, Braille gets a good run on Knowlton for second. Should have 2 to go. This time buys, they'll come around off of 3 and 4 here. Obviously, if we get a caution before that occurs, it should end the stage. Gaiman at the moment still well clear, obviously in first, as now we have officially 2 to go. Pit lane now closed. Brandon Featherplace a little bit slow, and that will be a caution, so that will end the stage. Brandon Featherplace wrong way around here, and that will bring the first stage to a close. We'll take a quick look at what happened to Featherplace here. Obviously multiple down, just had a bit of connection issues early, and he looks like he just gets a little loose here. Try saving it. Oh, Wood also got loose and shoots up the road right in the Featherplace. And that sends him around. 2-car incident, and that will be a caution. So stage 1 is officially completed here. Josh Gaiman, dominating performance. As you see again on the position statue, that's the wrong one. We want laps led. He has led every lap of tonight's festivities, and he will be your stage 1 winner, as he will lead the merry train down pit lane here, as pretty much everyone is going to be coming on in this time by for service. As you can see right there on the pit road screen, everyone just is piling on in the pit lane. And of course, are electing to stay out though, so We'll update you in a second on who those drivers are. But a few drivers also taking different strategies. John Hagen elected to roll the dice here. Looks like he took 2 tires, and it looks like Morse also electing to take no tires as well. Fuel only stop for him. So Hagen will be marred in traffic here, which could be a bit of a problem here for that 61. So he gets a little tap at Davey Hawk there. So we'll go back up. Obviously, our race leader right now at the moment is that number 31 of Brandon Bowie. As we'll make sure I got that. Yep, Brandon Bowie. Just want to make sure, as obviously he is a fill-in driver. Don't want to make sure I'm messing up his name. He, along with Bren Roberts, will be top 2 here. He, along with Roberts, McDonough, Estes, Murciano, Galloway, Merchant, all stayed out. All of them came in at lap 50. John Hagen will come out in 8th, and which is interesting because he'll get the spot over Feemster as his stop was just quick enough to launch Feemster, who also elected to stay out along with Smeal and Withers. So Hagen going to be the net gainer here. Will be kind of buried in these cars that stayed out, came in under the previous caution. And that will put our Stage 1 winner, Josh Gaiman, he'll be now down to 14th position as he'll be right around him and Bray will be wrong. Marshall, Withers, Sharp, and they'll be outside the top 10 when we go back green flag racing here in about a lap or two's time. So this field gets bunched up as now officially we got the 1 to go. Bowie and Roberts will be row 1, and they are electing to take this strategy, go for the track position, try to hang on, and try to get some decent points that way, or maybe if we get a lot of cautions, in turn, ride that wave of opportunity. Stage 2 will end at lap 130, so we got a little bit of ways away. Another 60 laps, actually 70 laps, for these drivers to traverse. Pace truck pulls on off, control will be on Bowie, and away we go, and there's a major stack up back there, right around Kevin Feemster land, and it looks like it was the 68, did not get going if I'm not mistaken. Could have been a gear switch situation there, and you can see the effects that has had as cars are now fighting for position, just trying to get around here. Ooh, right there. Hagen gets a little bump there. Ooh, Murciano trying to cover multiple cars here at once. Still Murciano getting ping-ponged here, just falling down the order. He's trying to find on my board here. There he goes. There's the 13, a Smeal. It is pure chaos back here, and it looks like John Smeal going to go wrong way around here, and that will cause a caution. So just a very odd situation all around here. Just a bunch of cars getting ping-ponged, bunch of cars going around, and in turn the effect that had all on this incident in question. So we'll take a look here. We're going to go back to the restart on this incident, if I can find it on my drop-down menu. Yep, green flag. So I want to watch the restart here. We're going to focus on, I believe it's the 68 of Merchant. So just going to try to find him here. Actually, we'll go back to the front line here. We'll watch it again. If we can find a good camera. We're going to watch it from, there we go. And we'll watch it out here. Because I think it's the 68, but yeah, we'll check him here. Restart goes. Oh, yeah, there's the accordion. It's actually not the 68. It's going to be the 39 that doesn't get going there. Second car in line. Now, obviously, I don't want to put anyone on blast, but I'm just curious to see, was it a gear situation again? Or was it a situation that, now he's in gear 2, but did he just time it wrong and pile in? Maybe slight wheel spin. So we'll take a look here again. Go wide shot again from the tower, and we'll watch it out. Then we'll look at the point of caution. Yeah, it gets a little bit weird. 32 goes, and then the 68 looks like he actually does spin the wheels a bit. And that causes the effect to cause the whole inside line to get checked up, which then causes just this 2 laps of pandemonium. So we'll let it run out here. We'll go a little faster just to kind of show it off here. Powers of video editing. There's a little bit of looseness. And you can see right there, there's Smeal, there's Braille. Braille gets the big loser incident. We'll cut up to the 13. You can see he goes way up the road. He gets loose, sent around, tries to save it, and he ends up getting into the piece of the 51 side by side there, and it shoots him on the inside wall, and that will be the first caution. So you can just see the effect of the incident in question there, as we'll go back to live action. Just one wheel spin or one kind of line not getting going at the point, and you can see the effects that has. As soon as a car doesn't get going, it can check up that whole line. Cars have to fight and scramble, and you can see the major cause that happened because they put Jeremy Braille. He's now back in 14th again. Well, Gaiman got the 10th, Knowlton up the 9th, kind of put themselves away from the squirrels a little bit because they were able to capitalize on that incident while other drivers just couldn't really get going because they got stacked up on that low line. So we've got lights out on the pace truck. Pace truck should be pulling off this time by. It's still going to be on the 31's control, Brandon Bowie. So Bowie and McDonough will be row 1. So obviously, apologies to McDonough. I thought he was the one that spun it. It looked like it was, well, maybe a little factor to him, but regardless, just a very odd situation. He will be on the outside line here on the stickerrobots.com machine. Pace car pulls off, and green flag again, and away we go here in stage 2. And yep, another iffy start there for McDonough. Hit the wall. We'll focus on him in a second here as he could be under pressure here. Actually, that's Toby Estes. We want to still focus on McDonough as he's getting past here. And, oh, 32 gets a little bump there. But we're going to cut back up to the lead. John Hagan makes a move on Brandon Bowie. And the number 1 will go up to .1. But Brandon Bowie not going to allow him to go quite enough. And he will nail that wall hard as they will still be side by side here. Now Hagan, at the moment, getting some breathing room away from Bowie. We'll have to keep an eye on this battle as it plays out as neither car really wants to give up, but a big lunge there by Bowie. It's going to open the door for Estes to make a charge here. And we have another caution here. See if we can figure out who it is. Looks like it's Markowski, right? And, oh, Ryan Pinnell involved. And you can see it's a stop here on the backstretch. Incident here. Obviously not sure who exactly was the point of caution here. See if we can figure it out. Obviously, it looks like it may have been Ricino. Could have been the cause of this, but I don't want to blame him. Oh, you can see right there, Ryan Pinnell and 38 of McDonough having a piece there. So we'll focus on McDonough here. We'll back it up. We'll go with an eye in the sky camera, and we'll play it at 4th speed. So I'm wondering if McDonough got a little loose here because we see him and Pinnell collide. Or does Pinnell slide up? Ooh, looks like he's a little loose, but at the same point, he's trying to go low, maybe the back end kicking a little. We'll wind out again. So we'll actually rewind here again, as if I can get this thing to work. There we go. We'll play it at full speed this time, because it's better at full speed to see. I think he was going low, drifting low, and Pinnell happened to be there. You can see at that point, then it's a major collide up here that gets Pinnell a little bit loose, shoots him low into that, and then 32 Machino goes up, and then Markowski nowhere to go. And, oh, Wood piles in too. Just big incident throughout. So we'll focus again. We'll go back again. Focus on the 32 this time by. As obviously just 2 cars fighting for real estate, trying to save it. 00 skates on by, and then, oh, Braille pushes 32 into the 12. Just cars fighting for real estate that wasn't there. Not a good blend, though, by the 32. I'm not going to lie, as it looked like it was just a bad incident around. I'm just going to rewind here a second and see who exactly piled in. It was the 28 that piled in. So we'll take one more look. We'll go back this time by, focus on this time as you can see more of the pieces happen. And we'll go on with a nice onboard shot of the 28 we want to focus on here, of Cody Pinnell. So you can see the incident up the road. Ryan gets into that situation there. Ping pong round. There's Braille. I just want to see this remerge here. Yeah, that's not a good incident there, and that could be maybe up there for Pedally. As you can see the effect that had as more cars kind of got involved in that incident that maybe shouldn't have. Obviously, I don't want to pass block and pass BAME, as obviously that is not the role of the commentator, but that was not a safe re-entry from what at least I'm seeing as Ryan Pinnell now down pit lane. We'll see if he can get that car back up and fixed, as he's had a fast 12, and it'd be a shame to see that thing end up behind the wall like that. Same thing also with Cody Pinnell, as he's also had a fast 28, as he's also looks like he's got a length repair waiting for him right now in pit lane. So 1 to go, officially out on the car pace truck now. It's going to be Hagan and Bowie, row 1. Estes, Knowlton, row 2. And then Gaiman and Morse, row 3. They'll be the first 3 rows here. Obviously, a lot of the cars that came in on the stage caution have worked their way back towards the front. We'll see if Gaiman can get his lead back. Will Hagan be able to hold off with his new clean track position? Green flag out, and away we go here again. Ooh, a bunch of cars going high there. 00 looks like he got a little bit, and we have a quick caution there, so I'll have to mute the point. Obviously, we're seeing right there a little rubbing on the line. Estes, they'll all get it saved. We'll see what the caution is at the moment here. Just Obviously, big incident there. We were watching as they were getting slowed down. If my box ever lets me go up. Looks like it may have been James Kerr's where the incident occurred. So we're going to focus on James Kerr here. See what exactly happened. We'll play it out at live speed. I'm not sure if he's going to the into the caution. Obviously, there's smoke already ahead of him, but there's the bump that sends him around. And it looks like a single car, so I'd call that a caution. So why don't we go, we'll rewind here, obviously, just because we got to figure out who exactly, what may have caused this. We're going to go up a couple spots if we can. So obviously, we're going to go up a little bit up the road here, right around Wansing-ish, and we'll see exactly if anything happens here, because obviously we see some smoke. See if we can get a better shot here from the blimp and just see if there's anything going on or if it's just, yeah, it looks like it was just the restart in question. So overall, nothing of note back here. As it looks like it's just going to be James Kerr that went around. But I do want to focus while we got this eye in the sky. Let's focus on Estes and the 00 here. As obviously caution gets called, a little bit of hard racing here. 23 gets a little loose right into McDonough, and that shoots McDonough down low. So after caution was called, drivers trying to get woed back down. You could see the effects that had as drivers got situated. But James Kerr, point of caution, it seems. So I'm not seeing anyone else of note that popped up on my information box here. So James Kerr, going to be the next caution of the night, as now we've hit officially lap 80 of 200. So Hagan, Bowie, Gaiman, Knowlton, Morse, your top 5 at the moment. So should get the one to go this time by, or actually already should, I should say, as the pace truck should get ready to pull on off here, as we're currently on the backstretch. Hagan will be on control again. Gaiman, obviously a bit of a threat here, will be taking up the mirrors of that one. We'll have to see on this restart and see exactly what he can do on those launches. Real fast before we get the green, we have 28 cars on the lead lap. It looks like Hudspeth, Roberts, and George, only 3 still continuing. Looks like at the moment one lap down for Hudspeth and Roberts. Green flag is out, and away we go here on lap 81. Ooh, look, Amy got a little loose there on entry. But you can see him just fighting that thing, trying to clear Brandon Bowie here. To hit off in 3 and 4. Right there, battle for the lead. Gaiman got a great run on that low side, and you can see the experience he has. He makes that O-line his prisoner, as he will get clear John Hagan, put him up to the point, and put him with another lap lead in his column. But John Hagan looking clear at the moment to try to challenge back. Looks like Oberstadt had a slight incident in his 60. See right now if we can get to him real fast. Yeah, he's down pit lane, but no caution will be called. See if we get a break in the action. We'll take a look, see what exactly happened to him. But we stay green for now. So Gaiman beginning to pull away here. We'll focus on Connor Knowlton for a second. He's trying to make a move here. And you can see right there the 31 stuck in a bit of a box behind the 1 of John Hagan. They'll be side by side on the backstretch here. They fight for position. Knowlton going to try to clear. And he almost can, so number 1, number 2 car fighting for position 2. It looks like finally number 2 will get clear, so put Connor Knowlton up to second, but John Hagan not going away. We will have a caution here. Toby Estes going to be the incident along with Connor Morse. This will make a quick cut here to both cars in question. And you can see right there a little bit of a shove on point. So we'll take a quick look here. See what happened to Estes. So see, obviously, Connor Morse just up the road. So actually, we'll focus to Connor Morse here. It looks like he may have gotten in a situation here. So we'll back it up. Doesn't look like he actually got any contact with the 00. We'll play it out. So focusing on that 49 again. Does he get loose off exit? He does, and similar we saw with Pinnell and the other car in question on the previous incident a couple cautions ago. They get together, they touch, but luckily no one piles in, no one gets hurt, other than maybe some egos getting a little hurt and, you know, some pride as they will fall further down the running order. But other than that, though, they both will stay damage-free. So back to live action. Obviously, John Hagan back to the lead. Will take his opportunities. Brandon Bowie is coming down pit lane here. He will give up his spot in the running order to get some fresh tires and some service on that number 31. Now, it's a shame we don't have a button here. That's just race analysis information. I'm trying to find if we have a button here, but it doesn't look like we do. So, at the moment, just doing some housekeeping. We have 28 cars now officially on the lead lap as Bren Roberts will get himself back on lead lap as he is the lucky dog, as you see him right now, going around, getting his lap back. At the moment, Hudspeth is currently 1 down, Oberstadt 5, George 6, Pinnell 15, Cody Pinnell, and Ryan Pinnell 15 down, Fleming, Kent, right. So pretty much, if we take a look as we see him go around here, we'll cut back up to the race leader, and we take a look at the pit road at the moment. Yeah, you can see at the moment, Withers looks like he'll continue right, and Kerr should still continue on along with Hudspeth. But Patrick Oberstadt, 2 minutes on the clock so far and counting. Cody Pinnell obviously in the 28, Ryan Pinnell in the 12. They're still heavy repairs over 9 minutes. Fleming is already out of this race. Matthew Kent is still continuing, but multiple down. Alfred George also continuing. So at the moment, it looks like we have 4, 5, 6. We have 6 cars out at the moment completely. Ryan Pinnell, Cody Pinnell could be joining them as they have long damage clocks at the moment. So 6 cars out of this race of 43 for sure, where we could see a few others join them in maybe the next couple laps or not. But 27 cars now on the lead lap. Gaiman back up to the lead of this race. So lap 91 will be starting on green at 92. Again, stage ends at 1:30. So we'll have a little bit of ways to go here before we see the end of the stage. Green flag is out, and away we go again. Good launch there by Josh Gaiman as Connor Knowlton and John Hagan will be side by side here for second. Oh, Knowlton gets in the bray out there, and that's going to get him sent sideways around. He'll try to save it, lock it down. Still no caution yet, and that will be a caution. Ooh, the 43 will get a piece. And that will be our next caution. So obviously not much really to report there as we saw obviously the incident in question. Toby Estes also had to jump the pit lane for something, so we'll see if anything happened to Estes in a second, but we'll go back at the point of the yellow flag with Connor Knowlton. Obviously we'll just have to rewind it, which is usually not the ideal situation, but we'll have to do it in question. So we'll play it out. Obviously see Knowlton. Ooh, it's an odd spot, but it looks like they kind of just fought for the same real estate. And Bryant was going up, Knowlton went down, and just got a hook there. Oh, big lick there by the 43. A little bit of a lick. So we'll take another look here as well. This time we'll go back to the coin of the yellow flag, and we'll watch the 43. The 43 of Tommy Withers as he gets a piece here. But does he have anything to do with what happened to Estes? No, there's Estes right there on the low side. So obviously he gets that little shunt, but nothing of note. And now we'll take a look here at Toby Estes in the 23. And we'll watch him. So he had to jump the pit lane. Oh, he tried to avoid the incident. Hits the inside wall. Other than that, it looks like it's still okay. Very odd situation as he just pulls it off the inside wall and basically takes it to the pit lane. So, odd situation all around, but obviously, and it looks like he may even also pulled it behind the wall. So, not sure what happened to Estes. It looks like his day is now officially done. So, you can add him now to the car graveyard. And that's why some of these cars are still running at the moment, because it can be a race of survival. And if a car retires, Like, we'll take a quick look as well. Like, Alfred George for the moment, he's only 3 to 4 laps behind Toby Estes, who's now no longer on the circuit. So he could theoretically gain those couple spots back and in turn get an extra position or two. Same thing with Briley Wright, who's on the same lap, but at the moment looks like he's not still on the track. So Alfred George can still gain, and obviously if any of these cars can get repaired up and get back out there, they could gain a couple spots for their troubles. As obviously, yeah, Matthew Kent no longer here. David Wright also behind the wall. Davey Hawk, Cody Pinnell, just kind of cutting through angles here just to ensure that, yeah, there's not anyone at the circuit at the moment. Ryan Pinnell, Chris Fleming, yeah, Brandon Featherplace obviously had connection issues. Looks like he is still on the circuit, but yeah, he's another driver that if more cars have incidents, he could be able to capitalize. And you never know when those extra points could come into play when it becomes playoff time in about 15-ish weeks. So anyway, lights are out on the pace truck again. We'll be on the control of Joshua Gaiman. He'll be on the low side. John Hagan will be on the high side here. So pace truck pulls off, green flag is out, and away we go here. Now officially on lap 98. Ooh, Hagan gonna try to go inside, try to switch it up, knowing he has to be aggressive if he wants to get a pass done here. Because if you allow that 61 to get into a rhythm, you could be up a creek without a paddle, trying to paddle your way back to him. As you can see him riding aggressive, but that, see that over lunge there in the corner will cause Braille a chance to get a chance on him. So as he watches battle for second play on, look at the lap times last time. Best lap time in the books right now is Josh Gaiman, who has the best lap in the session. Jeremy Braille has the second fastest, 17.75 for Gaiman and a 17.76 for Braille. As now we've gotten to the halfway point of this race. We'll go a little bit further back here. There's Seth Wanzing, Josh Battles. Oh, back to Braille. Now, obviously, they're still battling. Thought Hagan got it under control here, but Braille going to get the lunge. But Hagan going to try to switch over under here. Hagan still at the moment doing what he needs to do, but there goes Braille, low side again. Looks like we're still focused on this battle. Obviously, this is the battle for second. Could have a lot to do here. Obviously, Gaiman is checked out. If we can get a nice, at least this is going to be our right screen here. Yep, you can see right there. Obviously, that's the gap to the leader. As you can see, Hagan is about 1.4 back of Josh Gaiman at the moment. And that gap is beginning to grow here as this battle begins to scrap on. Oh, you can see right there, Alfred George on the low side. If we do, I believe the last 4 laps should... Looks like it's a little broken right now, so... Oop, wrong. Getting a little bit up the... glitched in the interviews there. As Braille gets up the road there, hits the wall just a tiny bit. And that should, at the very least, give Hagan a bit of reprieve for now, but here he gets a good run. Ooh, into the wall again. A second, third, and fourth all under a blanket here. As obviously you can see the 0-0 in the shot. Hagan going to go low. And he's going to get that jump done as Hagan tries to over-under it. It looks like he went high, trying to angle the car and get low side. We'll see if he can answer back here. So while we watch this battle still rage on here, we'll cut away for a second. We'll focus on the top 10 here. As the last stage points of the moment is in control of this driver, and we have a caution anyway. We'll see who exactly it may have been. Obviously, Machino was the car currently in 10th. Still trying to figure out who exactly it may have been. So it looks like it was Galloway in the 04. Obviously, I'm not sure. 05, I should say. There he is. Obviously, he's got a different listing on my battle box. So we'll take a look here. We'll go back in the incident question and take a look. Obviously, there's Galloway right there, side by side with Feemster. Oh, Feemster goes up the road a little bit, gets collected with Galloway, and also looks like the 68 of Merchant Had a bit of an incident there, but overall, obviously nothing to report there for the 05. 17 gets the speed. A little touch there by the 40 George, but nothing of note. But we'll take another look here at the 68 of Jared Merchant. We'll go back again as we'll see what exactly happened to him there. As he obviously hit the was parked near the itinerary at this incident. So we'll watch the 68 just up the road of these two cars here. Does he get loose on his own regard? Obviously, this is for 9th position. He gets loose almost in the itinerary and luckily does not get hit by Feemster or Galloway. And in turn will live to fight another day. So back up towards the front. Gaiman still leading the way, and you can see by the laps led, he's led 86 of 109 laps. And really the only laps he did not lead here tonight are, at the very least, I would say, are the laps in question that he was pitted after stage 2 when he came in and some other cars stayed out. When he's been up front, he's been a dominant force. He led lights to flag in stage number 1. So as you can see right there, the 21 of Hawk will have to concede and go to the back here, as obviously he was put one down, will not get the wave around. And he will have to basically concede these spots and drop to the rear. In for a short run here to stage number 2's completion. As if I check my stat book again here, just to make sure my numbers are correct, we should have theoretically only 20 laps to go next time by, and when we get the green, 19 laps to go for a run to the stage 2 flag. And I think, honestly, this is a good example of, I think it's hard to go against betting on that 61 machine to sweep the stages here. I will say it's not a lock. It's not a guarantee. Anything can happen. Anything will happen, as it is racing. Obviously, Josh Gaiman and a lot of the drivers will contest to that nothing's guaranteed until your hand is on the trophy. So as Pace Truck gets ready to pull on in, green flag will be on control of Gaiman. Green flag is out, and away we go. And oh, he did something went wrong there for the 61. And may have accidentally commentators cursed him as he did not get going for some reason. Maybe he was worried about jumping the start there. Had to get on the brakes, and he just gave the one old heave-ho brake check there. And he will fall down the third. Brea will take the lead here, heading off in these corners. We'll have to take a look here again if we can. If we get a quick caution here, what exactly happened on 111 to Gaiman, because that was very odd indeed. So obviously Gaiman right now trying to make up for what just happened. Will battle for second here on the inside of the 00, and he'll get clear. Almost gets hooked for his troubles, but he will at the very least get clear. So he'll be in second. John Hagan now going to try to fight for third. He gets a little loose off corner exit, and he'll have to go back to fourth. So right there, you can see Gaiman, once he got up to speed, he is now back up to second, and you can see by the little interval box here, he is less than 2 tenths away from the 74 and retaking the lead he had. Actually right on board with the 61 here. Get a nice little shot of him here, and we have a quick caution, so that could be end of stage here if we're not lucky. See exactly who was the cause of the stage caution here. Not seeing anyone of note. We'll take a quick look here on replay. But that's obviously Gaiman. Oh, right there. Looks like it may have been Connor Knowlton. Nope. 22 of... looks like it may have been Jared Merchant. I'm going to guess as he's sideways here. We'll play it out. He gets loose in the 22 of Feemster, 22, and then 34 of Feather Place. And I'm going to guess that may have been the cause of the caution. Rewind here again just to kind of make sure. Obviously, there could be another incident, but nothing was really reported on, so we'll watch again coming off straight here. Yeah, it just gets a little loose. Car kicks right into the 22 of Baxter, and the 34 of Feather Place ends up piling in 2. So back to live action we go. not at the moment yet. We're at 117. I feel like it's going to be end of the stage. Real fast, I'm going to take a quick look at gaming here real fast. We're going to take a quick look at the cockpit camera. I just want to see, did he spin it? Did he do something here? So we're watching again the restart under the previous restart. Gaiman goes, and then he gets on the brakes there. We're winding real fast again. It looks like, I'm wondering if he was trying to avoid jumping the start, because it almost looks like he went a little too early. That's the wrong camera. That's the camera we want. Look at his interval box here. Oh, he neutraled it. Looks like he missed a shift, or he shifted back. We'll rewind one more time. So it looks like he just missed a shift. Watch the gear ratio again. He goes from 1 to 2 to neutral, back to 3. So it looks like something went wrong in the shifting box there, and that caused the incident question for him to get spun on the restart. So it looks like we actually aren't. We are going to race this out for the stage. It looks like at the moment we're going to have a one lap dash for stage number 2 to be completed. As lights are now officially out on the pace truck here on lap 119, so it will be a 1 lap dash for the stage. Gaiman looking to sweep the stages. Braille, if he can get this restart time right, will be looking for his first stage victory since, I want to say, last year. I believe, definitely got it, yeah, somewhere last year, I believe he got a stage victory somewhere. Probably one of the 500s, I believe. But obviously, it may have happened somewhere else throughout the year. So, Braille, Gaiman fighting hard here. If something happens, Hagen and the 00 in the crosshairs, waiting to make a lunge. Pace truck going to pull on off. We got green flag is out, and away we go. Braille, Hagen, Gaiman, good launch on the inside line. As my correction, we have 10 laps to go in stage number 2. This will not be the final lap. We'll have another 10 laps going on to this point, so plenty of action left to go. Braille, though, still under control at the moment. He's been, pretty much, you could argue, the second fastest car out there tonight, but he's been a little less consistent than that 61 we're currently following, as Gaiman right now trying to go high side around Braille. So again, stage will end on 130, not 120. So now we'll have 9 laps to go in stage number 2, and Gaiman will be on the low side here of Braille. Oh, Gaiman tried to clear there, just couldn't come down. We have a quick caution here again. So Gaiman will have to reroll. Looks like it's Dale Markowski. As he popped up in my battle box here. Car's pointing the right direction, but looks a little wounded. So the Youngstown Town Machine. We'll have to see what exactly happened to him. So we'll play out here, focusing on that 33. We'll go with a nice eye in the sky camera here, just to see if there's anything around him. Side by side with Lawrence. And a little blink there up the road when the 18 is sharp. Oh, he was not the incident that caused the incident. There was a 17 of Kevin Feemster stopped on the road. And that will be probably our reason for our caution. So we'll look at Feemster this time, side by side with Bren Roberts. We'll stay in the sky, eye in the sky camera here, see what exactly happened. It looks like he just spun on his own accord. Oh, Ikavazzi and Smeal also collide. And then Markowski piles in, so very odd situation around the board. Is it's just Feemster got a little loose, a few cars piled in, and in turn just nowhere for Markowski to go. We'll take a look here from his hood camera real fast, and we'll see if we can take a quick peek here before we go green. Let's put the data on the screen, and we'll watch. Focus on Markowski here. Obviously, just up the road, you'll see that blue car, the 17, gets a little loose. He's up on the road. There's the collision by the 77, and then you can hear him on the brakes just trying to lift it out of it, but nothing he can do at this point with the dirt and the less than ideal traction. And he'll give that 17 a good little shunt there on his door. So back to live action. Obviously, Markowski down pit lane along with 13 to Smeal and a few other cars fixing up their damage. Obviously, as we take a look at pit road, you can see almost all the cars involved in that incident are currently under pit lane here. But we still prevail on. Lights should theoretically go on the pace truck this time by, as they'll come to lap 127. We should get the green on lap 128, giving us a 3-lap dash for the stage. Obviously, if a caution were to come out, that would more than likely end the stage and give us a complete order here. So, going to come down to how clean these drivers can run. Decide if we get a green stage 2 or a caution end of stage 2 on the carts. Braille, Gaiman will be row 1. Hagen and Matt will be in row 2. Wanzing and Bowie, row 3. McDonough and Battles, row 4. Michelle and Marshall will be the first 5 rows here. We'll go through a rundown of some names and all that at the end of stages. Again, with being such short cautions, it's kind of hard to really articulate what's going on. We can say one thing, though. We'll have 26 cars on the lead lap here. As 27th at the moment, Ikvatsi is currently down pit lane for a long repair clock, and 28th on back. Some are still going on, but others have called it a day early. Green flag is out. Away we go for the final restart of stage number 2. Good launch by Braille. Gaiman will try to follow suit here, and he'll get a good exit there as Braille backed up the corner. Try to keep that 61. You can see right there, Bowie, remember, pitted at the end of stage, pitted halfway through stage 2 there, using those fresh tires to his advantage as he's trying to make a move here on that 00 machine. Oh, right there, you can see Battles and Michelle get a little bit close to touching here as they battle side by side here. We'll cut back up to the race lead for a second just to make sure nothing's happening here as Braille will get ready to take 1 to go in the stage this time by. White flag in stage number 2 is commenced. And we actually have a caution, so never mind. It will end the stage under caution. Braille will win stage number 2 here. But we'll take a look here and see exactly what happened. I do not have any information at the moment. So we'll see at point of caution here. See if we can maybe find someone here. Braille and Gaiman may just had to slow it up for the field here, but we'll just quickly click around here. See if we see anything of note. Not seeing anything. We'll go for the wide shot here. We'll play it out here for a second. This is point of caution. Not seeing anything really. There could have been, obviously may have made a mistake there and we just hit 130 without me noticing. Regardless, Braille will win stage number 2 here. And he will take the victory of Braille. Gaiman will come home in second as we move further on. Obviously, pit lane, a crowded place. Here's a lot of cars coming for service. Oh, Gaiman and Hagen. Obviously, luckily, the ghosting will come into play there and help them both out. They will escape on through. But as they leave the pit lane, we have a new leader up front. It's the 32 of Riley Murchino. Murchino is going to be up in the front with Daniel Michelle. They will both stay out. Both came in at 117 and 116 respectively. Then it will be Edward Marshall, Connor Nolan, and Connor Morse will be the next 5. Braille will now cycle in 6 as he looks like he took a very quick stop along with Bowie. And then you can see different strategies. So Gaiman and Hagen, the only one to really go for 4 tires there. And they will both cycle out 11th and 12th. But we do know is they can charge through this field quite quickly. So this is really not a hindrance, and they feel confident in their abilities to get back towards the front and recover quite nicely. So we got this opportunity. We'll, again, just quickly show off. Yep, this is the top 5 in question here. If I ever can find the right graphic. There we go. Yep. After 131 to 200 laps here for the LazyBee Farms 200, at the end of stage 2, Riley Murchino will take the lead with Daniel Michelle going to be flanking him on the outside line. Braille, who was the winner of stage 2, will be firing off in P5. At the moment, we have 26 cars on the lead lap. Alfred George is one of the few cars that you would argue still in contention. He's 5 down off of our race leaders. Other than that, we still have Matthew Kent, David Wright, Davey Hawk, Brandon Featherplay still running, but good chunk of that field multiple laps down. Green flag out for stage number 2, and away we go again for the final stage. And look at Connor Morse right there. Caught Edward Marshall sleeping, and we will be running off here as cars battle. And right there, 16 gets into the 74, and that could be a bit of a situation And we have a caution. Edward Marshall looks like he may have just towed to try to avoid getting piled in there. It's very odd with the replay cameras. So we'll just have to take a look here completely again. Just start at the restart here and see what exactly happened as that was playing off there. So we'll go back here again. We'll go back to the front, as obviously cameras are all a little bit screwed up here. So this is the point of caution. Let's just play it out at the beginning here. Let's make this simpler. We'll go to the green flag. Trying to find, there's the 16 to Edward Marshall. We're going to focus on him here, as this seems to be the point of contingency. So we're going to play it out from the restart. Green flag is out. Marshall really does not get going. Opens the door for Morse to jump to the low side. Now, what exactly happens to the 16 of Marshall here is going to be the question of the day. Oh, he drifts up to the 74, spins him around, gets a little contact from Feemster, and then a little extra by Cheeseburger Lawrence. Oh, he gets piled in by the 22 there, and that keeps him around. So he will continue, though, but obviously he got a lot of shunts for his trouble from that incident. We'll go back again, and this time we'll focus on restart here. If I can find point of incident. There we go. Of Jeremy Braille. We'll watch on board with him with this time as well. As he's just trying to make that high line work. Yeah, there's nowhere for him to go. Marshall kind of comes up and just two dogs fighting for a raw steak. Luckily, Braille really avoids any major incidents there. He will continue on. We'll take one more look from this incident. If I can't get my little clicker to work here. And we'll take a look here, this time focusing on the 22. As we watch him as he got the big shunt there on Edward Marshall. So we're focusing on Ross Baxter way down the order here, just outside the top 20. It's been a rough night for Baxter, who had a decent practice runs going. You see right there's the incident up the road, just trying to avoid it, trying to see if it goes high-low, and just shunts right into Edward Marshall there. So back to live action. There's obviously Barney the flagman as we see the incident cars go on screen here. There's Jeremy Braille right there, currently going to could be in 9th position. But as we got officially the 1 to go, Daniel Michel and Riley Murchio are going to be the top 2 here. Obviously, Murchio right now, biggest mover of the race, up 38 spots from where he qualified. As he was pretty much in P40 when this race started. And he's now up to 2nd, obviously through elements of strategy. But sometimes that can work, as we saw Bowie use that to get a good run there for stage number 2. So control will be on that 32 machine. Green flag is out, and away we go. Good launch there by the 32, and away we go again. Oh, right there, Morse got right into Michelle and shoved him up the road. Obviously, Michelle is going to remember that. Morse has got to be careful. Probably one of the youngest drivers in this series, but you do not want to make enemies, as it will be a long time if you're not careful. Up the road, Gaiman trying to take the lead again. Bowie, we have a quick caution. Bowie will keep lead, I believe, at point of caution, but we will take a look here again. It looks like it was Michael Lawrence and Michael Joyce. We'll just jump straight to the replay here, and we'll see what exactly. Obviously, that 47 in the Bob's Burgers machine and Mike LaJoy in that 29 Hartford Whalers machine. We'll take a look here. Lawrence gets a little loose, gets right in the McDonough, right up in the Lawrence, shoots down in the Pelletier Sharp, who has had a quiet night, but that will be her first major incident. Obviously, she won Bristol last year, but that was the concrete version instead of the dirt version. We'll take another look. We'll actually ride on board here with, speaking of the 18, we'll actually ride on board with the 18. Obviously, she had a lot less to play with this, but she gives us at least decent perspective being right behind the 47. So 29 gets a little loose, right into the 40, right into McDonough, in the Lawrence, and then just nowhere for Sharp to go. She's trying to mind her business, and she ends up getting a little piece there from Cheeseburger Lawrence. So back to live action we go. Obviously, at the point of caution, Bowie took the lead, but Gaiman was able to get himself back up 2nd in the span of about 12 laps. He has gone from actually even less, because stage started not exactly 1:30. So in less than 10 laps, Gaiman's gone himself from 14th all the way back up to 2nd. just trying to cement his dominance here tonight. Edward Marshall just got a lap back, but he is not going to be on the lead lap with this. He should be still one down, I believe. Because I think he may get himself back in the lead lap here. We'll see in a second as we see him come around here and just swing around. Yep, he's now officially still one down. So Marshall will be one down still in comparison to the leaders. If another caution were to come out, he would get back on the lead lap. And that will leave us with 24 cars on the lead lap. Edward Marshall, first car, one down. Long damage repair for Mike LaJoy. Seeing how many cars still in the running is a little bit interesting as we still have some cars still running at the moment. Obviously, we've got Alfred George running. He's still about 5 down. Matthew Kent is still running. So he's about 10 down on Alfred George. David Wright's still out there, about 12 down on Alfred George. So it's hard to get a running count of who's here and who's not, as a lot of cars have had trouble here tonight. But theoretically, I believe we got 11 cars behind the wall here tonight, and that will give us 32 cars still running at the moment. Brandon Featherplace, lowest of those 32 cars still running, as he's dealt with some connectivity issues. Bowie Gaiman will be in row number 1 here as we got the one to go. We should see the green flag this time by. Pace car pulls off. Control will be on Bowie. Green flag is out, and away we go. Oh, look at that. Gaiman trying to shuts the door on Mucciano, just not allowing them to get really geared up in the corner. Braille gets a little contact there with Morse. We're going to cut back for a second. We'll keep an eye on the race lead, as obviously Gaiman is driving with a mad lad of speed. But we want to make sure we're not missing anything back here if we can help it. That's right there. Braille holds the line. We're going to cut back up to the race lead. Gaiman on the hot pursuit of Brandon Bowie. Lose the opportunity, and we have another caution. Honestly, I've lost track, as my new timing software does not let me know how many cautions we have, so it's been plenty, though, that can be reported on. Trying to see who exactly it was. It looks like it may have been Bren Roberts in his 84 machine. There, he's a little bit slow and a little bit damaged, so we'll take a look. We'll go with another eye in the sky camera just to see what exactly happened, if it was ahead or behind him. So focusing on Roberts. Oh, no, it's Connor Knowlton that's going to have a piece. He gets in the Wanzing, and he stacks up everything here. So we're going to let this play out just to see who else gets a piece of it. Obviously, you can see the 39 McDonough, the 17 of Feemster. Seth Wanzing also collides. But we're going to have to go up the road here a bit. So we'll focus on Connor Knowlton in that 2. Obviously, right here in 5th position, I believe, at the time of caution. Oh, he gets loose off exit, gets into Hagen, up the road. He ping-pongs aggressively. And it kills the engine, so it's going to be day done for Connor Knowlton, as engine just expired as more cars just piled in. We'll take 2 more looks at this. We'll focus on the 1. Actually, we'll focus on the 5 of Seth Wanzing, as he's going to have a good view in that number 5 machine of what exactly happened here. So playing it off, there's Knowlton getting loose off the corner right into the 00. He luckily gets on the brake there, but it just still hits hard there. And just nowhere for it really to go. Luckily, the car probably got saved by a bit of netcode there, as it looks like it looked a lot less violent than it was. And we'll take one more look at this, one more perspective. We'll focus on the 83. Actually, we'll focus on the 17 of Kevin Feemster, as he gets involved in the second part of the incident here. As we'll see if we can get the right camera angle here. There we go. So we'll play it out real fast here, focusing on Feemster. Obviously, up the road, you see Nolan. He'll get tabletop, basically. And just, yeah, check up. Driver's trying to avoid. And, oh, McDonough gets in the Roberts. And then just nowhere for Feemster and Co. to go in that incident. So back to live action we go. Obviously, about to hit 50 to go in 2 laps' time. Should actually take 50 to go when we get the green flag. And that will allow us the ability to switch over to laps to go. Obviously, 52 will be 50 when we get the green flag, as lights are now officially out on the pace truck. It's going to be Bowie and Gaiman going to be row 1. Riccio is making the strategy work. He'll be inside line to Braille. Then Morse, Hagen, Battles, Verdon, Wanzing, Galloway. Your first 5 rows here. Let's take this opportunity real fast. Thank everyone for tuning here on ABN Studios. We're 1 subscriber away from 500. So if you can, give this channel a subscribe. We hit the magical 500. But if you do like what you're seeing, please come in next week as we'll be heading off to, I believe, Auto Club for next week's festivities here on A Squared at 7:05 Eastern. Green flag is back out. Plug is over. And Bowie, good restart. Gaiman, not so much. And he is going to fall down to second and cast a shunt right in the back of Murciano. And he's going to give Murciano a little hook there. And he's going to continue to fall here. So Gaiman did not get going the way he wanted to. And you can see the effects that's had. It's put him back a little bit further back. It's allowed Morse and Braille. And, oh, another contact there with the 61-32. They cannot get unstuck from each other. And they are, in turn, still fighting here. Back up the road, as you can see, Murciano and Hagen will stay on that for a second. Wanzing also side-by-side with a 0-0. As they all battle on, we're going to cut back the game. You can see in the wide shot, Gaiman going to get around Connor Morse. And we'll see right there as we'll cut to the aftermath. These cars are just all over the racing surface right now. Obviously, we keep an eye. Because of that incident, we'll go with the interval screen. Right now, Gaiman now 1 second back, along with Braille in second position. They're both a second. Actually, he's a little under a second behind our race leader right now in Brandon Bowie. As my cameras are trying to switch up here, there's obviously Brandon Bowie. We're going to go a little bit further back here. Obviously, there's Murciano. Currently side by side. Hagen side by side. Looks like Connor Morse. Trying to cover a lot of battles here. Morse gets in the wall just a tiny bit. As he's trying to get clear in that #1 Tar Heels machine. He will at the moment. Looks like Murciano on the low side of Seth Wanzing. And that Smeal race dies. And we'll have a caution, so that will neutralize everything. And we'll see exactly what it was. Still trying to scroll through my information box here. When we find a name, I will let you know. Looks like it may have been Jared Merchant in the 68 machine. It looks like he may have been a minor spin here, but he has popped up saying he was at least involved in the incident. So when in doubt, we'll go with a nice eye in the sky camera, and we'll play it out here. So focusing on that 68. He just gets a little loose, tries to lock down, gets right in the feather place, up the road. Luckily, no one else piles in, and he'll continue on. And obviously the 34, as we'll cut to him real fast. Obviously, not the day he's wanting to have. Car looks pretty good, though, in design position. But other than that, rough day for him at the office because of the connectivity. And you can see the 68 down the pit lane. So 41 laps to go here. See if I can see how many cautions there are real fast. That is race information. Results is probably, yeah, it's going to give me the old results we're currently on. I'm going to try to figure out how many cautions we are on. Honestly, this is where the new knowledge does not give me the information I need. So bear with me for just a second here. We're going to go through some screens here, see if we can figure out what exactly is the thing that will give us the information. Obviously, that is a bit of a, yeah, that was interviews, laps led, lap 4. Not directly sure what caution lap we're on, as it is not directly going to show me, and obviously we'll see if it's in the weather real fast. It's not. So overall, I wish I could tell you what caution lap we're on, but I cannot directly tell you, but I know it's been a lot, and that is 100% a correct statement. There probably is a button here, but this is the first time I've been using ATVO, so I'm not 100% where menu it may be under, but we'll have to trial and error that going in the next week. He's obviously had a bit of a dry course before we started. 43 laps to go, 42 now officially. We'll have the 1 to go. Obviously, Bowie Braille will be row 1. Gaiman Hagen will be row number 2. So Bowie obviously got a good restart that time by and was able to kind of get some distance, but the question is, can he do it again? Pace truck will pull on off. Green flag will be out, and away we go here. Ooh, a little bit of a wheel spin for Hagen and Gaiman. Gaiman gets a little contact there, front corner, checks him up into the 32. They still can't seem to get unstuck from each other as they will battle on here. So we focus on this for a second. Gaiman gets clear back of Hagen. We're going to cut back up to race leader. Bowie and Braille, they're under a blanket here. Again, with Gaiman having some trouble here. On principle. Bowie going to go low side. Gaiman, Braille going to go high side. And you can see Gaiman, that's what I saw. He was catching up here. And you can see him trying to crash the parties. We'll ride on board in the cockpit of the 61 here. He's getting right side by side, trying to battle with Jeremy Braille there. As you can see him just fighting that interior wheel here, just trying to get those runs. And you just see how he's fighting it in the corner. Gives us a good perspective of what's really been helping him out here tonight, as he's really made these corners work for him. So we'll go back to the wide shot here. I see top three pulled away. John Hagan currently at the moment well over, just to confirm the information, he's well over about a second back. So top three right now at the moment, trying to make this a battle between themselves. Bowie, though, doing what he needs to do and is keeping the car planted in spots that's not allowing Braille, nay Gaiman, to get an opportunity to pass him. Yeah, gap is now opened up to 2 seconds from Hagan to Gaiman. Sorry, Hagan to Bowie. So caution will probably need to be occur in order to allow Hagan to get back into this one. So do not want to cut away from this battle. As you can see, Braille just trying to inch his way around here. He'll have a good lunge on the roadside. Obviously, Bowie making up for a good, poor qualifying performance here. Got a strategy to get himself at the front, and Braille going to get clear at the moment. So put Braille back up to the lead, and they're going to catch a little traffic here. Alfred George, obviously on the low side, he'll get out of the way as we continue on. Now Gaiman's going to try to make a move here on the low side of the 31 of Bowie. This will be top low side here. Obviously, do not want to burn up your stuff if you can help it. Looks like Michelle's had a little bit of an incident, and that will be a caution. So Danny Michelle obviously slow here on the high side. Cannot see if I can find out that information, how many cautions I absolutely have, but we'll take a quick look here, see what exactly happened for the 25. So we'll play it out here. Obviously, he was in a spot here, position. Tries to make a move on Seth Wanzing. He just gets a little fender there by the 00. Shoots him round up the racing surface. And Bren Roberts just comes piling in. And that will be our caution of the night. So we'll take another look here on... actually, we'll watch this time with Bren Roberts. He got a big lick here. So again, just up the road, you can see, obviously, there's Roberts for the 22. And there's the incident. There's the shoot up the road. And yeah, there's nowhere for Roberts to go. Car's spinning. Car's getting loose. And, well, pile in he will go. So, obviously, there's Dan Michelle coming down the pit lane for service. And that will cut back up to our leaders now and see the situation. One car will get their lap back. I believe it's not Jared Merchant. It's not Markowski. Someone will get their lap back. But regardless, at this point in time, we'll have 21 cars on the lead lap. Alfred George, again, still trying out there, trying to get back into that. 5 laps down at the moment as we have 30 laps to go here. So as we take a look here, I'm just trying to find any incidents of note, if I can find something. So as we get going back here again, looks like I lost a little bit of control here. Something's frozen. So anyway, it looks like ATO just crashed on me. So we're going to have to deal with this for a second with no ATVO. So please bear with me for a second, as we should have at least a few seconds here to go. We'll keep the action live, though, as we got 1 lap to go in the stage. As ATVO has decided to take a crash there, just to kind of put the cherry on top of tonight's first broadcast. So green flag is out. Braille, Boo, going to get a good launch there. As we're still getting back on ATVO, so please hold for a second. Gaiman will get for second. Bowie will now be sliding into third. So we should theoretically get this back on the screen here. Yep, we now got the information back on. Let's just see if it's back on for the stream. It is not. So give me 2 more seconds here. We'll get that back on for the viewers at home. Right now we have 25 laps to go. And now we should have it back on for all the viewers at home. So sorry about that. ATVO just had a little bit of a crash moment there. So 25 laps to go. And you can see it playing on here, as we'll now put 25 laps to go, as drivers are battling it out. Braille still pulling away at the moment. Gaiman now in second. Bowie is now fallen down to third. Can Braille keep his cool and keep his nerve here and hang on to this spot? Still holding strong at the moment. Bowie now down to third. 23 laps to go. While we take this opportunity, while we have this second, just to kind of look at everyone else through the field here. As we've had to kind of check some cameras here, you can see obviously there's John Hagan in fourth, and Josh Battles with a good drive, currently up to fifth, currently battling Seth Wansing. So we should have everything back. We'll go back to TV1 here, and we'll cut back up to our race leader, Josh Gaiman, currently in second, with Jeremy Braille now beginning to pull away from the 61 machine. So Braille really seems to have saved his stuff here, or is he Gaiman playing a bit of possum? Is now Gaiman under pressure here from Brandon Bowie. You can see on the low side, there's Brandon Bowie just trying to get that run, just can't fully get cleared. 20 laps to go. Oh, Bowie again going to get a bit of a lunge there, but just can't get it done. Well, we got the second. We'll take a look at Gaiman just to show you. As we'll catch some lap traffic here, you can see a handful of cars. Braille got through it cleanly. Now Gaiman going to try to follow suit here. It's Kent, Marshall, and I believe it was the 43 as they've caught right now. But right now you can see this traffic slowing up. Markowski, and now will cause a caution. So as they were cutting through, there's Markowski in the 43 of Tommy Withers. They've had a bit of a come together here, and that will be next caution of the night. Looks like Withers may have had a piece with Sharp too, so we'll have to look here. Taking a look at the replay here. Here's Tommy Withers, and here's Peltier Sharp, which presumably may have started this caution. So we'll go with our eye in the sky. Obviously, they're a little bit ahead of the incident question. Oh, well, a little blink there from the 43, but you can see the contact that happened. Looks like we stayed green at the moment, so that's not the point of the caution. This is then when they get caught up to where the leaders are. So we're focusing just a little bit up the road here. And then another slight incident here with Withers, so we're going to kind of watch out here. He gets loose again. We're just going to play this in real time because presumably... Actually, I think that may have been a little ways. We're going to cut up the road here. We're going to skip a couple laps. Now we're going to cut the Withers here in question. That was not the caution. This is what's presumably going to be the caution here. So Withers has fallen a little bit further back. There's Markowski. It's a little bit loose, and it looks like two collisions again. They both hit the inside wall, and in turn, that will bring out the caution. So we'll head back to live action. Speaking of the two cars in the incident, there they are, both coming down the pit lane. And we'll cut back to our race leader, Jeremy Braille. And while we have the second, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning on in here, as it's been obviously a bit of a interesting night, to say the least, from broadcast to the race itself. But everyone is still trying their best here to get a good finish, and obviously it was a track of unpredictability, and it's playing out for the factor. So thank you for sticking it out here for the LazyBee Farm 200. 15 laps to go at the moment. When we take the green, we should have 13 laps to go. Braille, Gaiman, Bowie, Wansing, Hagen, your top 5 at the moment. So we get the one to go. It is going to be Braille and Gaiman. Row 1. Obviously, we'll take a quick lap here just to show you laps led. Braille has led 40 of 178. This has been the run of his domination. Gaiman, meanwhile, has led 88 of 187. The two cars that have led the most laps tonight. Bowie led 36. John Hagen led 13 of that. So, overall, the 4 dominant cars tonight have been in those first 2 rows here. Pace car going to pull on off. It's going to be on Braille's control. Green flag is out. Away we go. Gaiman got caught asleep at the wheel. And that's going to allow Braille and Gaiman to be side by side, heading off into 1. Thing is, they can't get, because these laps will tick off quick, especially if they stay green, and that could play into the factor of Braille here. Braille, 13 laps to go. Clear. Gaiman and Bowie side by side. Oh, Gaiman way up the road into Hagen, gives him a hip check. And that's going to put him down to 3rd, allow Seth Wansing a chance to go for 4th here. And we have a caution. We'll have to neutralize that. Tommy Withers looks like he was point of caution. He'll spin it around, unspin it back, and get a little piece of Cheeseburger Lawrence for his troubles. So we'll rewind back here again. We'll play it real fast just to see what exactly happened. We'll puff the smoke up the road. Oh, okay. It was Lawrence. Something happened to Lawrence. Got Kent around and Kent into the 43. So we'll have to take one more look at it again, see what exactly happened to Cheeseburger Lawrence here, because he'll be the reason of the incident here, and you can see him already sideways. Looks like he may have got some help from Kerr. We'll see as he's blinking a little, so it's gonna be hard to judge it. Yeah, a little hook there from the James Kerr machine. Shoots him around to Kent, and then now you can see the rest of the effects of what caused this incident. As you can see again, Withers just trying to spin it up and doesn't really see that Lawrence is there. So back to live action. There's Tommy Withers coming down pit lane as we go back to live action. Braille, Bowie, Gaiman, Wansing, Hagen, your top 5. It seems to be Gaiman is kind of struggling at this moment. As you can see, the 33 Markowski, he'll get his lap back, and I believe that will give us 18 cars on the lead lap. Actually, I think we're still at 21 because doing the quick number check here. As long as Marshall, Withers, and Lawrence get out before they catch the field here, they should theoretically still be on the lead lap, but right now it looks like long repair clocks, at least for Lawrence, so I think his day may be done. James Kerr will stay on the lead lap. But outside of that, actually, I don't think Kerr's, yeah. No, so we have 17 cars. Just making sure I'm reading my numbers right here. James Kerr, 17 cars on the lead lap. Markowski, last car on the lead lap. Actually, James Kerr would be at 18th. Withers, Marshall, 1 down, respectively, along with Michael Lawrence if he can get back on the green, get back on the racing surface here before we're going 2 down. Currently 2 down officially. So it's been a very chaotic night. A lot of cars involved in incidents, very few cars even pristine. You can even see on our top 5 here, obviously besides the dirt, you can see Gaiman's front nose clip there a little kicked in. Seth Wansing His left front very chunkled in. Hagen's got some damage on his front end too. None of these cars are really pristine looking. Really, I would say Braille's got some contact. I would say Bowie's looks the best in this top 4. But obviously, it doesn't have to look the cleanest if it's still the fastest. So Braille will have control. Bowie will fire off on row 1. Then it'll be Gaiman and Wansing. Wansing's been a very sneaky driver all night. If something were to happen, he could be in a spot to capitalize. Hagen, Murciano will be row 3. Pace truck going to pull on off on the control of Braille. Away we go. Good launch there from Bowie. Gaiman also going to try to follow suit here as well. Bowie going to try to hang it around the outside. Still side by side for the moment for the lead. Braille, Bowie, Gaiman, 1, 2, 3. Hagen got around for 4th. And we have another quick caution. Looks like it's Markowski, Kent, and Withers again. Similar cavalcade to the previous incident, except Markowski switches out for Lawrence. And it looks like Connor Morris as well, so... You know, it may be a good thing we don't know how many caution laps we've had, because I think it would make it a lot more painful to know those numbers. So we'll follow Connor Morris here, taking a look at the replay here. The 49, does he start this, or is he at, nope, happened to 4. Actually, it's way up the road. Sharp, McDonough, and in turn, oh, Morris gets into Kent and the Withers, so both of them were innocent bystanders in this incident, so we're going to have to go up the road here to Pelletier Sharp and Connor McDonough. McDonough obviously the 39 here, so we're going to follow McDonough here. And we'll go with an eye in the sky camera. It's always good for viewing these long-range instances. He goes low. Let's see. Oh, he gets in the Roberts, hooked up in the wall, similar to what we saw happen to the 2 in Connor Knowlton. Sharp gets hooked around, and then, yeah, Morris just in an odd spot gets sent up the road. We'll take one more look. We'll focus on Matthew Kent here. We'll ride on board with him, as he's also going to have a good view of what happened. Obviously, there's McDonough getting table-topped. Sharp kind of gets two-wheeled for a second, and yeah, Morris just tried to save it, and nowhere for Matthew Kent and Tommy Withers to go there, and that will bring out another caution. So back to live action. Obviously, you see pit lane. We'll cut back to our race leader, and you'll see 4 laps to go, and you can just see again as we take that information box off, and we'll show pit lane. Pit lane, a very crowded place at the moment with... It's not as crowded, but at the very least, the garage behind it is crowded at the very least. 4 laps to go. Should see green flag with 2 laps to go, so we're not actually officially in overtime yet. Overtime is not officially has been succeeded. If we were in overtime, it would not matter per se, as overtime rules dictate that we have unlimited attempts at a green-white checkered. So overall, if we were in overtime, it would not matter, but we are not. We will see right at the moment, we're still on course for a regulation finish here, as you can see by the board, lap 198 at 200. So we will have 2 laps to go when they take the green. So it will be an unofficial green-white checkered, or at the very least a not an attempt, actually, I should say. Braille will have control, Bowie on the high side. It seems to be with these short laps, Braille seems to be in the catbird seat, as it's really worked strong for these drivers on the restart to time it around. But Bowie just showed that he was able to get a good launch there and really make something happen. Pace truck going to pull on off. Can Braille bring it home, or can Bowie, Gaiman, or Hagen challenge? Green flag is out. Away we go. Poor restart for Bowie, and that's the deficit Braille needs to get ahead here. Gaiman going to try to slide up in front of Bowie to give himself a chance to make a run. Remember, if the leader sees the white flag, this race will be official. Out of 3 and 4, as Braille comes off the corner, we will see the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go here. Final lap, Braille, can he bring it home here? Gaiman there in the distance. Will Gaiman try anything aggressive? Through 3 and 4, Gaiman a little bit too far back. And as they come off of 4, Jeremy Braille wondered if he was going to be here or not. He has won the LazyBee Farm 200 here at Bristol. Gaiman comes home in 2nd, and Bowie rounds out the top 3 here. Jeremy Braille, great drive, consistently here all night. And for a driver that had his struggles last year at Bristol, he has made it count this season, and if he elects to take the rest of the season on as an open car, he is locked into the playoffs. Former champion, here again, showing the old dog does have new tricks. your race winner as he is burning it down here. Gets a a bump there from John Hagen, former team driver and champion for Beatron last season. We'll pay a little bit of respect along with Seth Wanzing. So Jeremy Braille, your race winner here. So put the nice little graphic up on the screen there as he is celebrating here tonight. You do got to feel a little bit for Josh Gaiman, though, because he had a dominating car here, and it just could not finish up there in the stage. But still, a P2 is a strong performance that you cannot scuff at for finishing second. As you can see, Braille right now just full speeding it around the corners here. He's got to be careful. If he hits those walls a little bit too hard, people may question of him trying to, at the very least, make that car legal for inspection. We're only kidding here, though. Braille, your race winner, as he will do some more celebratory burnouts here, as he will burn it down. Now, do not go anywhere. We will hear from the top three here shortly as we wait on for the drivers to get on in. So we'll give them a second here as Braille now stopped on the front stretch. So as we pull up something here, just give me 2 seconds and we'll check chats in question here. Okay, so we should be okay at the moment. So we'll check to see if anyone is ready to go for interviews here. Gotta make sure all the audio levels are good as well. At the moment, we do have, so far, Bowie, Braille, and Gaiman all ready to go. So we will go from 3 to 1 here. So we'll bring in Bowie, then Gaiman, then we'll hear from our race winner in tonight's festivities. So let's bring them all on in and just make sure audio levels are all good here.
Right.
Oh, sorry for dragging you in there. Brandon, this is Kevin, the AVN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Kevin, I got you.
All right. Obviously, you came in on short notice here, driving on in,
Yes.
filling in for Zach Millett, and you had a good performance here and showed it with a P3 here tonight for your troubles. But at the very least, we got to start at the beginning because at qualifying, you seemed to kind of struggle a little bit at the very least, and yet overall had a poor qualifying run. So what caused the poor qualifying run?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was just kind of getting acclimated with the dirt. I literally have not driven dirt in probably 2 years. So just trying to get comfortable again, understanding where the line was, if there's a cushion, if there's not a cushion. Just trying to understand all the basics, right? And I'm also driving, I'm also subbing for my teammate. So I just wanted to just put down something solid, which I did, but I also realized that once the track started to slick up, then I could really kind of start driving kind of what I was used to driving. When it was gripped up like that, everything just felt really, really tight. But once you start sliding around, I started to kind of get a handle of it, and it worked out pretty good.
It did. Yes, it did. Now, obviously, going on to the end of the, I believe the first stage, we saw, obviously, you kind of running around mid-pack, and then you tried an aggressive strategy call. So take us through that thought process. You came in, obviously, at lap 50. You got the track position. So what was the mindset in taking that strategy, coming out for stage 2, and taking advantage of that track position? Was it mainly to get clean air, or is it mainly just to try something different and see, with how the cautions were falling, something that could maybe help you out in the strategy book?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was just a little bit of both, right? I understood that, being in traffic and trying not to get any damage on the car, with there being a high amount of cautions as well. And I was like, well, if I pit, then I'll have to go to the back of the pack. And that might not be where I want to be with, I think it was still like 30 something cars.
Give or take.
So it was still a high amount of cars. I was like, I don't know if I really want to be back there. So the first time, I also missed my pit stall, so that didn't help either. So I was like, you know what? I'll just stay out and let's just see what we can learn. Learned quite a bit actually, but I could still tell like I wasn't on pace, and even at the end of the race, I wasn't on pace with Gaiman and Brault there. I kind of maybe fizzled out with Hagen being about the same speed, give or take. But I was just like, hey, you know what? I'll just try to stay out and see what happens.
And it
Did
definitely.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I
No.
was gonna say yeah, and it definitely definitely worked out. Um, and just again, the goal was this is not my car. I want to bring it back in one piece. So, but at the same time, I still wanted to learn. So that was the big key there.
Yeah, moving further on, obviously we got to crunch time there, and you were hanging around that top three, hanging on, making some laps run, and overall. So take us to that thought process with those last 30-ish laps. You were obviously getting a lot of cautions, but you were putting a good battle there with Braille and Gaiman. So were they giving you the respect, and were you given that same respect in return?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I was told with about 50 to go, like, hey, they are actually the ones who run dirt. So
Mm,
you know, be mindful of that and understand that they're going to make some moves that you're probably just either you don't know or you're just not going to be able to do. So, definitely a lot of respect to them. I actually, again, I learned some things kind of running behind them and kind of seeing the line they're running and that type of stuff. But yeah, like I said, my big picture, this is I don't run in here full time, so I don't want to put somebody in a situation where they get wrecked out or something like that and lose a whole bunch of points. I would rather race clean, continue to learn, kind of, give the respect back and forth each way, and maybe we'll race again and have another good battle like we did tonight.
yeah, obviously keep respect going, and you'll get respect in return. Two more questions.
Yep.
When we look at the last reset there, obviously with two restarts to go, you timed it well, and you were side by side with Braille coming off. In that last restart, it seemed like you didn't time it correctly. So obviously
Yep.
restarts come down to the point of obviously deciding when to go if you can do it. But was it? Did you just did you think that that second to last restart was your best chance, or were you kind of feeling like you were a sitting duck on that last restart there? Or you think you had anything for Braille to try to make a move on him?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The second to last one was my shot. Um, I could get there, and I knew if I just threw it in there, like before caution came out, maybe I would time it just right, stay in front, and if I knew if I could do that, I could probably hold on for a two-lap shootout.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard, but I probably could. And the second time, I think they kind of learned some of the things that I was doing, and they were actually, uh, uh, I guess, speeding up a little bit slower than they had been doing before. And I didn't also want to get a black flag, so I kind of restarted cautiously, which unfortunately forced me to lose another spot. But I wanted to play it safe there. I didn't want to, force the 31 to get a black flag, had to come down and basically finish last car on the elite lap. So um, yeah, I mean, I wish I could. If I could do the last one again, I wish I could have did it a little bit more cleaner. But all in all, finishing third, for a dirt track, which I am horrible at dirt racing. Um, but to finish third, I'll definitely take it tonight.
Mm-hmm. Last question. Any obviously you were in a fill and roll for Zach Milton. Obviously you're not a full time competitor, but any plans at the moment if anything were to come up? Are you obviously going to stay in the umbrella of Bowie, or if anyone else comes a calling, would you be willing to jump around? So any chance we see you again on this track or any of the other tracks on the calendar, or are you just on a call the need basis?
Right now for my team, I'm just basically on a call the need. Usually Sundays is really really hard for me to do with family and everything. So it just happened to be this Sunday I was free. So um, it, you never know. I don't mind. I definitely don't mind racing here. I think there's a lot of respectful people, and I think there's a lot of guys that um are fun to race around. So um, if the somebody wants to call and see if I'm available, I guess I don't mind whether it's my team or not. Um, but I'm probably just gonna stay with my team though to keep it fair. That way nobody feels any certain type of way, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, it's completely understandable, but you never know. Got to at least ask. So anyway,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
because you are a fast driver, and we saw you fill in at least a couple times for different rides last season. But anyway, we got to the point. If there's anyone you want to thank, family, friends, sponsors, whatever, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, well, first I gotta thank my family for allowing me to race tonight, because again, this is not a night I usually race. I gotta thank Zach for calling me up and putting me in the car and having me race. Hopefully, I made him proud by finishing third tonight. I gotta thank his sponsors for also allowing me to race his car, Team Conti, Sim Performance, Boo Esports, of course. Um, unfortunately, the car is very muddy, so I can't see all the sponsors. So, yeah, that's basically the main ones I can think of. Teammates, of course, from the whole Boo Esports team. You guys for the broadcast, A Square for the league, ARCS as well. Yeah, I think that's about it.
All right, great talking to you, Brandon. Obviously, if we do see you again, I feel like we may be talking again, but regardless, take care. Have a good rest of the week.
All right, you too, Kevin.
And that was our third place finisher, Brandon Bowie, and that will move us down the order. So Brandon Bowie, third place, and we'll move on now nicely to our second place finisher, Josh Gaiman, and we'll bring him in now as grab Josh and move him to the wrong server. Hi, Josh. This is Kevin, the ABN booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, Josh obviously had an eventful evening, and we'll have to start at the very beginning again. So obviously, stage one and qualifying, you seemed like you're one of the fastest cars out there. So what was your secret to really being fast here? As we obviously saw when we ran Bristol Dirt in 2023, that was a track you were also pretty fast at. So dirt really a track type that's in your expertise?
Yeah, for sure. I grew up around it and just did it a lot through R Factor before iRacing had it, and I've always really enjoyed dirt racing. So it was fun to come out and be able to do it again for the A Squared season. The practice qualifying at the beginning of the race, everything felt good. You could pass, you could make moves. I think the track there about lap 150 just kind of fell away, and once it did, everyone was kind of set in place. If it had gone green, maybe a little bit could have happened, if you find something somewhere, but we didn't have enough green flag laps to really search, so yeah, it's just kind of a bummer.
Because we obviously saw that throughout the laps there, where obviously runs were kind of killing out, and you're basically holding on that point and kind of hit the nail on the head from what we were seeing. Moving further on, obviously, we saw in both your pit stops, you were one of the few drivers that elected to take 4, while a lot of the drivers may have stayed out. So what was the methodology behind the 4 tire calls there? Was it just traction, or did you just feel confident that you could get back up there? What was your mindset for taking 4 on the 2 pit stops at both stage breaks?
Yeah, I had the confidence that I could get back up to the top 5, but it was mostly just, they added the tire wear to dirt, and just looking at my practice laps throughout the week, after, 40, 50 lap runs, the right rear is going away a lot faster than every other tire, but I wanted to keep everything nice and even on tire pressures and temperatures, so I just took 4 to keep the car level and stable. So it wasn't, a completely different car whenever I came back out onto the track.
Moving further on, obviously, another kind of point we want to bring up is your restarts. It seemed like, obviously, restarts, you're timing it well, but it seemed a couple times you struggled, like you got stuck in neutral or it didn't get going. So what was, restarts obviously were a point of, obviously, if you were leading, you'd be kind of on the strong point there, but it seemed to be you were struggling. Was wheel spin of an issue? Was it trying to keep it in a lower gear to try then get it going? What was causing some issues on some restarts for you?
Yeah, late in the race there, I tried a couple first gear restarts, and it just wasn't working. So eventually I just kept it in second. But that neutral bomb was out of nowhere, really. I'd never done that in this car. With the sequential now, it's like it shouldn't happen, but it did there. And I don't know why it did. I just had to completely let the revs come down to get it back into third gear, and was able to keep going. But yeah, it just caught me off guard there. I've never ever seen that in the next gen before. So now that I know it can happen, I'll be a little bit more aware on if we do a dirt track again.
Yep, good information to keep in the back of the pocket. Obviously, moving further on, obviously, what you said, lap 150 onward, the track fell off. It was hard to really make moves, but it seemed like you were kind of getting close to Braille there on some restarts. And coming to that last restart, do you think you had any chance to get Braille, or do you think kind of it was just it was too little, too late? We need more laps beforehand to try to get an attempt to win this race.
Yeah, I know the couple of times we were able to get wound up for a couple of laps, both of us moved up to the top on 1 and 2 because it was just feeling super fast up there. And I think if we'd had enough time to really search and get that speed wound up and get into a rhythm, we were talking about it in the waiting room there, that if it had gone green on that second to last restart, that we probably would have either been 2 or 3 wide coming to the line there, because Brandon was right there with us the whole time too, and it was just a blast to race with both of them.
Moving further on, obviously we still got plenty of the calendar left here, looking at obviously Bristol. We figured it was going to be your best chance, but looking at the next 2, Auto Club and Atlanta, thoughts on both those tracks? You think it's a track where we can finally see you etch that first win this season?
Definitely hoping for Auto Club. I've had wins there before. I've had success at that track. It's it's definitely a favorite of mine with this car. Just the old surface, it's bumpy, it's bouncy, it's cracked, so it just, for some reason, this car really loves that kind of stuff. And Atlanta's going to be Atlanta, so that's just kind of going to be a real crapshoot. I feel like it's just one of those tracks.
Yep. Obviously, we got to the point. Does anyone want to thank family, friends, sponsors, whatever? The floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, shout out Feemster for bringing me on with Dirty Air. It's been fun racing with these guys. I get along with all of them, so it's good to have a team that has chemistry, and we can work towards improving all of our standing. Shout out to everyone, all the admins at ARCS, the drivers. It was a rough race tonight, but the racing that happened was extremely fun. And shout out to you and the whole ABN crew for putting on these broadcasts year in and year out.
Well, thank you as well for that. And obviously, it's great seeing you out there. Obviously, like you hit the nail on the head. It was a bit of a chaotic evening, but it was still a fun to watch. So regardless, I feel like we'll be talking to you again for the season's out. But regardless, you take care. Have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, you too.
And that was our second place finisher, Josh Gaiman. That leaves us with one remaining. We'll hear from our race winner, Jeremy Braille, now. We'll bring him on in. Jeremy, this is Kevin, the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Obviously, you're very happy right now. You found a victory lane in that 74 and keep the winning years continuing here. But obviously, we got to start at the very beginning again. Qualifying, you seem locked in, and like we've heard, dirt seems to be in your expertise. So what was your secret around here making that car as fast, that number 74 Taco Bell car as fast as it was?
I did a couple practice sessions earlier in the day that Hagen set up, and it was basically just trying to get used to the track. And I knew when the track was fresh, you could just full throttle it. You didn't really have to have much talent to do that. But once it got to where the track was rubbered in a lot, and it was basically run around the very bottom, or if you could get up top, you could hold it full throttle, but there was a lot of like really bad bumps. I don't know if you guys saw that on the broadcast, but it was just every time you go up top after the track was worn in, like the car was literally like a 64 Impala. The ass end was coming up and down every time you hit a damn bump, and hard to hold on to, but like I just kept my foot to the floor and kind of just sent it. And that's just kind of how I learned it. And then I just tried to keep up front as much as possible there.
Moving further on, obviously throughout the race, I think you got in a couple instances where we saw you get close. I think you got doored once off a corner or got hooked on someone. Was there any major damage we saw? Because we didn't see, your car looked the cleanest out of all the cars, obviously with the dirt. Any damage to report of, anything we didn't see? Because you did get a couple rough-ups from some other drivers throughout tonight's festivities.
Yeah, I think it was when the majority of the damage that I got was when the 16 kind of cleared himself off of 2 into me, and I slammed the wall pretty hard, and it kind of knocked the wheel upside down a little bit. I had to turn more like left than right, so it screwed up the steering a little bit. But after that, it kind of just drove perfect. Because before that, it like I couldn't hold it on the bottom as good as Gaiman could, because he was a monster on the bottom once the track got rubbered in. But after I got that damage, it kind of made the car way better, and then I could hold it on the bottom a lot better, and that's how I got around Bowie there.
Speaking on, obviously, getting around Bowie, obviously, when the track kind of fell out of 150, we kind of just saw you kind of, I wouldn't say you lucked in, because obviously had the skill to stay up there. But it was a point of principle that you were kind of just leading the Piper. So did you feel like there was any threat with 50 to go there for your lead to fall? Because obviously, if you made a mistake, that would be the case. Or did you feel like as long as you hit your marks, you were at the very least guaranteed at least a first, or at the very least something decent?
I mean, with how many cautions there were, it was basically just get a monster restart every time and just hope that the two behind would just race each other. But if that didn't happen, and I know that happened on one of the occasions with like 10 to go, I think, where Bowie got a good restart, it was going to be hard to hold them off, because I think those two are honestly better than me. I just, not to copy what you said, but I kind of lucked into it a little bit. But I just, as long as I could stay in front of them, and then the next caution would come out, because it was inevitable until the next caution came out, because there was no way we weren't going to have another caution. And I'm kind of surprised that we didn't have any more restarts there at the end. But yeah, just stay in front of them and then just hope for the best.
Speaking of, to kind of add to that thought too, with 2 to go, and you got away on the restart, 1 to go, were you feeling anything, maybe a dive bomb like Gaiman would have happened, or did you think on the back stretch 3 and 4, you were pretty much smooth sailing?
As soon as I got off of 2, that was where I knew I had it. But into 1, I don't know if you saw it, but I missed the corner completely. Like I went straight up the middle, didn't even hit the bottom. I just kind of slammed the throttle down and was just hoping it would stick, and it stuck. And Gaiman wasn't close enough to me there off of 2, so I just knew just to send it on the bottom into 3, and then I had it.
Moving further on, obviously now with this win, you feel like lock yourself at the playoffs as an open car. It's weird to say you're an open car when you are a team owner. Now, obviously, if you are able to make the rest of the races, you are locked in regardless. But looking at the calendar up ahead, Old Atlanta Auto Club, do you think you'll be having a good chance to go back-to-back, or at the very least win at one of those 2 tracks?
Old Atlanta more than anything. I feel like it's going to be a tire management race, and I love tire management races. So hopefully the setup there allows for that to be a thing, or hopefully the track is configured correctly and we don't run the super speedway package there, because that would kind of suck. But yeah, Old Atlanta, that's the one I'm looking forward to.
All right, fair enough. Obviously, we've gotten to the point. If anyone want to thank family, friends, sponsors, whatever, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Alrighty. First of all, I got to thank Smith Racing Designs. He made this awesome paint scheme. This is the only one that I had made because I didn't think I was going to run more races, but obviously now I'm going to have to. So thanks to him. Thanks to everybody on Beatron. I know a lot of guys got wrecked out of there early in this race, and a couple of guys stayed in there and encouraged me to keep going. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to my lovely girlfriend for letting me race. I know this isn't what she would have preferred, but she let me race anyway. So thank you very much. And thanks to everybody at ABN for putting on the broadcast. You guys are top notch. So thanks for doing what you do, and thanks for putting us on the air.
Well, thank you for talking as well, Jeremy. Thanks for the compliment, even though it may have been a little rougher for me than usually Carmen would do. But regardless, it's been great talking to you. Obviously, enjoy the win. Obviously, again, if you do run more races, we'll probably talk to you again soon. But regardless, take care. Have a good rest of your week.
You as well.
And that was Jeremy Braille, our race winner. And with that, our interviews have officially concluded, and we are officially done with those. So we'll go back to live action here, and obviously we'll take a look at the final results here, I should say, as I get the interview screen off that, and the race winner, that is not correct. 74 ended up taking the win for Braille. But we'll take a look here again, as you can see Braille now driving away on the track as he was parked out there the whole time. We'll hide that and show the results here. And I believe, yep, there we go. Jeremy Braille obviously wins tonight's festivities, and he started from fourth, takes the win. Josh Gaiman takes home second. Going to be kicking himself a little bit, but sometimes that is how the cookie crumbles. Brandon Bowie third, John Hagan fourth, Seth Wansing with a good fifth place finish there. Very sneaky run along with Matt Van Vordon in sixth, both having good runs there, consistently staying in the top 5 and not really truly falling back. Danny Michelle, 7th. Blake Galloway with good recovery, 8th. Riley Machino gets a 9th. And Josh Battles proves his dirt background, gets a nice top 10. Then we got Gavin Hudspeth, Jared Merchant, Willie Peltier-Sharp, Bren Roberts all the way to 14th. Moving further on, we got James Kerr, Edward Marshall, Ross Baxter, Dale Markowski being the last of the drivers finishing on the lead lap. Tommy Withers finishing under his own power 19th. Colin McDonough 20th. And then we're getting the drivers that didn't finish or were finished multiple down. Connor Morris 21st. Alfred George 22nd. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence 23rd. Matthew Kent 24th. David Wright 25th. David Hawk 26th. Brandon Feather plays proof of sometimes even when you have a connectivity issue, if the world around you caves around, you can still recover, and he'll finish 27th. Kevin Feemster, first of the official retirements, even though I think some of these other drivers ahead of him did retire, he'll be 28th. Michael Joy, 29th. Ryan Pinnell, 30. This is going to be a little bit messed up here, so we're going to have to kind of go up and down here. So Connor Knowlton, 29th. John Smeal, 30th. Michael Joy, 31st. Vincenzo Icavazzi, 32nd. Toby Estes, 33rd. Bradley Wright, 34. Patrick Oberstadt, 35. 36, Ryan Pinnell. 37th, Cody Pinnell. 38, Chris Fleming. 39th, Ethan Wood. 40th, Elliot Longenecker. 41st, Jonathan Adams. 42nd, Brian Rupert. And we saw him in the chat if you were watching live. If not, why weren't you watching live? It is a very interesting chat to be a part of. Steve Tucker, if I hit the right button, will finish 43rd with Brian Johnson, Nicholas Pressey, and Marshall Harris not making the field. Pressey and Harris obviously raced. Harris raced last week, and Pressey raced the 500. Brian Johnson still trying to find that elusive first start this season. But I tip my hat. Even though he's not made 3 races so far, he's still coming to week in and week out. And sometimes that's all you got to do and just hope something falls your way. So that will do it for that. Obviously, as I have alluded to, I will confirm the schedule here right now before I make a mistake here. So we'll go to the right information box here. And yep, next week we are going to Auto Club. That will be March 9th. It is going to be the BTHO Cancers, beat the hell out of cancer weekend. So we'll see a bunch of cancer schemes out there. So keep an eye on that. And then obviously on March 16th, it will be St. Patty's Day, as we'll be at Old Atlanta. And then the next 3 weeks, we'll have Watkins Glen, March 23rd, as they'll be traveling upstate central New York to go left and right for the first road course of the season. But till we get to all that points and all those things, it's been a great evening. Again, thank you for sticking it out. Obviously, it's been a little bit of a rough broadcast. It's first time using ATVO, but I think we did a decent finish up to the broadcast. So thank you for tuning in. And regardless, as we see a nice quiet track here at Bristol Dirt, it has been a fun night for all. So thank you for all tuning in, and I hope we can see you again. So take care. Have a good rest of your evening.